your show.
I can't stand it, I tell you.
I love you guys are the best.
We're surely
We're hitting the capital. All right, it's 8 days. Relax. Yeah, we're on a bus.
Madison.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
That's what they say in Hong Kong.
And Jay Thomas.
The Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. And eventually they'll put the phone number up here and I'll figure it all out. It's
888-STIRRED-101.
There he is. There's Shuley.
Check it in.
Yeah, Madison is
Hello.
also there also. And, of course, go to jthomas.com. We've added the babe of the day to try and drive traffic to that thing. I have perhaps the worst, it looks nice, but nothing has ever happened for my little website. I thought you started a website, sold some T-shirts, and the next thing you're in Clover. But
What does that mean?
Clover, you're making money.
Sitting pretty.
Oh.
A little hoarse today. I was up crying all night. People always
I was crying too.
really good.
I was.
Me too.
No.
Jersey Shore was emotional last
Oh, I
night.
just haven't seen it yet.
Actually, I've been shooting Cold Case. I just finished late
Bless
last
you.
night. The Cold Case show. I'll be
When
on
will
March
it air? Okay.
March 7th. And when I do these shows, I never play a nice person. Never.
What was your name?
Lance.
Hi.
That
My name is
sounds
Lance.
first you were Garth in the Lindsay Lohan movie.
Now I'm Lance.
Now you're Lance.
And it'll be on March the 7th. And I'm not allowed to say whether I'm the killer or not, but I sure look guilty from the very beginning.
You're
I'll tell you.
definitely not.
Well, we'll vote on it.
I don't
We'll
think
vote
you're a
on
big
it.
enough star.
Oh, no. I star in the whole episode, you idiot. You.
Jerk face.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nothing. Forget it. It'll drive you back to taking pills again. Listen, I know you're a big Conan O'Brien fan, but I will tell. I just want to ask this question.
Why do you hurt me?
Was he on live last night?
I had to go to bed so I could wake up for this Fakakta show.
Okay. I don't know if he was on live last night or not, but
He makes me laugh so hard.
I understand that. I said this months and months ago. You don't take a number one person.
He
ever.
didn't take it. It was given to him. Why does everyone think it was Conan's fault? And Jay Leno's a piece of shit for sticking around. He should just be like, I'm going to bow down. I'm going to bow out and let Conan take the show.
Hold on a second. The show was number one. Let me give you a little
I know, and they
example.
took it away from Jay.
Let's just take Madison. How are you doing over there at Alt Nation and all that? You doing fine?
Great.
Okay. Let's say they take a woman that works in the office, Joan Chin. We all know her.
Okay.
Joan is back there. They go over and they go, Joan, we don't want you to leave. We love what you do. This is a woman in the office and very nice woman. And she says, well, what I would like to do is I would like to, be on Alt Nation in the spot where this Madison woman is. And they go, okay, we would like to keep you.
Conan did that?
No, yeah, of course he did. It was in a deal. And so now you're winning, you're doing great.
Offered it to him.
You're coming to you and all of that. And the show is you're doing fine. And and you move, you fall on the sword and you move and they put
That's
the woman
horrible,
in.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I know,
what they
but
did.
what I'm saying is, I don't think it was Conan's idea in the first place. I think it was NBC.
Oh, stop.
And you know what? They should fucking pay the price for being assholes here. They're being Indian givers. I'm sorry. You don't give someone something and then take it away.
Can I tell you
and
something
I don't
else?
think Conan's doing poorly because of that.
No, he's
I think
not
he's
just
doing
doing poorly.
because of the lead-in, which was Jay Leno.
He's getting... No, he's not. The lead-in was never Jay Leno. The lead-in is the news on local stations.
The news was doing poorly, Jay, because of Leno.
Honey, Conan O'Brien is a loser
No,
late
I
at
think
night.
he's fucking hysterical. I'm sorry.
He's not. It's
He
over.
is.
He looks stupid in his suit. You know
love
what he
him.
looks like?
He
looks
does
like
not.
Hold it. He looks like Gumby.
His humor can be juvenile, yes, but I love it.
Now you know what? Surely
Jimmy Fallon just
are they over there talking about I mean, just let's pick a show. Pick any television show. You do not replace a number one radio
But it
or
wasn't
television show.
It was NBC's idea in the first place.
You're an idiot if you
You
replace.
think Conan went in there and said, "You give me Jay's show"?
Or I leave. Exactly.
I don't think so. I
But
think
that's what Jay did for when Johnny was working.
no.
Well,
Johnny
you know
was
what?
retiring.
No,
yeah, exactly.
Johnny
No,
retired.
Johnny was retiring.
Johnny
No, he wasn't.
retired after the story was planted in the paper that he was retiring to give the show to Jay Leno, and he never.
No,
agreed
he
to
wasn't
that.
retiring.
Look,
No,
if Leno
he
never
wanted Letterman to
if
do
Leno
it.
never
Sure.
wanted to leave in
Right.
the first place, then I feel terrible
But
that
you-
NBC went in there and said, "Okay, you're gone, goodbye." But why does everybody think it's
Leno-
Conan's fault?
Jay Leno had no interest at all in leaving the Tonight Show because Jay Leno has no life at all. None.
He
Neither
had to
does
have
Letterman.
it. He had to. Well,
The
well,
only
then-
reason he
then we
left-
should
They
be
have no
blaming-
life.
Then we should be blaming NBC, not Conan or Jay.
But the only reason he left Madison is because he knew that he could always go back and get his show again. He knew
That's the stupidity of Conan
No, you
O'Brien's
can't do
advisors.
that. You
he
can't
knew
do
that
that.
this was an experiment, and
No.
and at the end of the day, if he failed, he still got his
what
show.
are you talking to Jay Leno right now?
No,
but
now,
that's
Garrett-
the deal. He's
Hey,
still
Garrett.
getting the Tonight Show.
We were supposed to run Conan O'Brien, but we can't, can we?
No, we don't have the update of the Adobe Flash Player.
Of course not. Absolutely not. So we can't run any of the planned.
Here I am thinking it's legal reasons, lawyers.
No, we can't run
software.
any of the planned stuff because we don't have a computer that runs the stuff.
Damn
we could
you.
play all the other audio, just not off of Hulu.
Why not? Because we don't have the right thing
Yeah,
downloaded.
and I
or
called
something.
the computer guy 20 minutes ago, and he said 10 minutes he'll be here.
Well, and he also said, try unplugging it and plugging it back in.
That's exactly right. They always want you to replug everything. So we'll play that in a few minutes. I'll tell you something. You can defend Conan O'Brien all you want to, but when you do, this is bad karma. When you replace a show that's winning on any level,
Why do you
television,
think it's
radio.
it wasn't Conan's fault? He was given the job. If you're given the job, you do it. You don't say, "No, I don't. No, thanks."
No, you know what you say when Jay is ready to leave. I would
Maybe
love to
he
take
did
the
say
show.
that. You don't
He
know.
did not.
I
Jay
love
Leno.
him. I think he's a great guy. I think he's hysterical. I think his sketches, if that's our word here.
Can I
are
be honest with you?
fantastic.
If he was winning, they wouldn't put Jay back in there.
Right.
He's not winning because his lead-in was weak.
That's not true.
And because CBS is just winning all around, regardless because of their
That's
fucking queer
not
shows.
true.
Oh my God, NCIS.
That's not
And The
true.
Big Bang Theory, all those shows
You
do
wanna
so
hear
well
something?
on CBS. That is
you,
why.
You dated losers and you back losers on late night television.
You know what?
Okay?
I'm not
Yes.
doing this show ever again. We're done. We're done.
You know what? We'll have either a gay guy or another woman replace you immediately.
Nobody can replace me.
Because you quit. That's different. When you decide to quit,
No,
that's
you're an
different.
idiot. You're an idiot that you don't see the humor that is Conan O'Brien. He's a
Well, when
fucking
we get,
genius.
when we're able to run it, I'm going to play you the most embarrassing monologue I've ever heard in my life. The reason why he can't not go to work is because he won't get his money no matter what, right? He's going to move to Fox. He's already gone. It's already been announced that Jay Leno is going back in, and it's all about ratings. If Charlie Sheen had shot his wife 3 times, he would have still been back on 2.5 Men. If Charlie Sheen's show wasn't doing well and he was accused of
This
slapping
show's a
his
piece
wife,
of crap, and I'll tell you that's exactly why Letterman wins, because all these shows on CBS win. All of them win, and then the people just watch the news, and then they just stay.
Did you
They
hear
don't
what I
wanna
just
move.
said?
I
If
can't even listen to
Charlie-
you anymore. You're all fuddy-duddy.
if Charlie Sheen's show was a loser, they would have made an announcement due to his alleged activity during the holidays, all alleged, that perhaps
Yeah, but
he might have pulled a
old
weapon
school
on the wife.
Americans believe that you should beat up your wife.
Might have pulled
I mean,
whatever it was, all alleged, he would be off the air. Guess what? He went back to 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
Horrible show, not funny.
It isn't what's number 2 or 3 or whatever the hell
Exactly,
it is.
because people in this country have the worst fucking taste in television shows. The worst.
You know what? You're gonna back a loser no matter what.
No.
And you know what? You want to write
Sorry,
a note
I
to
like
yourself.
The Office. I like 30 Rock. I like Conan.
Julie, write a note right now because she won't do it.
Writing.
I've got to stop backing losers. I'd love. By the way, every time you put me down, it's exciting. If you were for me, I'd be worried. If you said, "Oh, you're so great," I'm worried anyway about my life. If you told me I was great, I'd be done.
I think Conan's hysterical. I love him.
Well,
I love him.
You know what?
Funny.
You're not in.
I think he's funny.
You're not in the majority. Now,
That's not
David
true.
Letterman's numbers. Let me tell you something.
David Letterman hasn't been funny in years. He's a bitter old fuck.
Watch this.
You know what's...
Julie, let me ask you a question. With all sorts of focus on a problem.
Yeah.
And it happened, by the way, with 2.5 Men. I keep going back to Charlie Sheen.
Ugh.
But it happened with 2.5 Men. His rerun, after it was announced that he had gotten in some alleged trouble over the holidays, the reruns of 2.5 Men had some of the highest ratings and were beating number one shows.
Oh, show is so bad. I have
You know
tried
what? Stop
to watch it.
Hold it. Hold it
I
1
have
second.
tried.
Hold it 1 second. Don't comment on whether you like it or not. Let's just put it this way. It is a ratings winner, and listen carefully. It's not about your opinion. It's about reality. Your
reality
opinion
is
and
that
reality.
bumfuck Americans like a piece of shit show with a laugh track. It's not
All right,
a good
you know
show.
what? Hold it a second.
It's not clever.
One thing you
it's
have to
not
learn
funny.
about talking on the radio is after you've made your statement, we've heard it. So now you said it. America's dumb and you back losers. We heard it.
That's
and if
not
you
what I
like
said.
somebody,
Do not put words in my mouth.
here's how I do. Here's how I
in
figure.
somebody's mouth in a second.
If you're winning and you're number one, I don't care whether I like your show or not. That's
So
the
you
deal.
don't care about quality at all.
No,
You
it
don't,
doesn't.
Jay.
No, I didn't.
They
I didn't
don't.
say that. I'm giving you a fact.
Okay. You're right. Gotcha.
Jackass was the number one show on the cable, no matter when it ran. And you could look and go, God, they're stupid and they're going to kill themselves. What's the use of making fun of something that the majority of people find interesting? What's the use of that? None. Now, let's go back to 2.5 Men. Whether you like it or not, it is a huge show.
Yes.
He allegedly did something during the holidays.
Yes.
David Letterman has this affair, and his ratings go through the roof for a negative, horrible negative.
Explain it. Why? Why
Hold
does
on a
this
second.
happen?
Hold on. So I said the other day, and I was totally wrong, the ratings for Jay Leno and for Conan O'Brien, because of this problem, would cause people to want to watch. David Letterman this week has had higher ratings, which is unusual, very unusual, higher ratings than it had even had like when he was announcing, his infidelities, right? That's the oddest thing. So what's funny is that they're in real trouble now, in tremendous trouble. And Jay Leno may or may not be able to win again. I don't know. But Conan's career is in tremendous trouble.
Well, here's something that's
Tremendous trouble.
Here's something that's
He's proving himself not even to be interesting to people during a controversy.
I think it's
That-
been great. I
but-
don't know if you've been watching.
But Jay hit on
I'm
something.
going to play. When we get a computer guy in here eventually,
he was great with Ricky Gervais the other day.
I want to hear. I'm going
Wait.
to let you listen to
You don't think
the
he was
most
funny with Ricky Gervais the other day?
I'll tell you what I did the other day before we go. I walked down the street and I'll sit and have lunch and I'll go, hey, did you watch? I'll go, hey, did you watch Conan last
You know what?
night?
Ratings are bullshit. You know who gets to rate TV shows? They're old fakakta losers in like Iowa. Those are the people doing the little ratings.
All right,
I've never
I'm
been
gonna have to
asked
ask
to do
you.
ratings.
Hold on a second.
I've
Let's
never
go to
done ratings.
Good morning,
Andrew.
Iowa.
Andrew
Hi,
in
Iowa.
Toronto.
I've
Andrew
never
in
done
Toronto.
ratings.
Hello, Andrew. It's the Jay Thomas Show. You have
Morning,
anything
They're
you'd
going
like
to
to say?
side with you always,
No,
Jay.
they're not. Oh, no, they're
Yes, they
not.
would. Yeah,
No.
yeah, there is, Jay. First off,
What?
I just want to say I agree with Meredith on one point. That America.
Meredith? Not Meredith.
Go ahead.
I
I
Madison.
like Meredith. That's fine.
Go ahead.
Madison. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But then after that, I would like you to please shut her up.
No.
Please turn off her microphone.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. You've got to, once you make your statement, it's over.
You don't
Yeah,
let me make my statement.
You did. You don't think the great Americans that listen to
I
radio
love
and
this
television.
country. I
no,
vote
you don't.
Republican, yeah.
No, you don't.
You don't love
this
Iowa. We
country.
know that.
And you've injured Andrew from Toronto. So
Yeah,
the
my ears are
tentacles of
hurting.
your hatred have gone over into the other border.
Putting words in my
And,
mouth.
and if I
Really?
could just say,
Yes,
Madison,
go ahead, Andrew.
You're a real
Go
whore, Jay.
ahead. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
if lead-in is everything, and CBS has all the great lead-ins, how did Jay beat Dave for years on end?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I have a.
You know what, Andrew? Could you start writing for me?
Yeah.
Start sending me
If
stuff
you all
every day.
would just watch Conan and see the sketches he does and the bits.
We'll play one of Conan's
He's
great
fucking
monologues in a few
hysterical.
minutes. As soon as Albert Einstein is
You know
brought
what?
back
He
from the dead
he skews
and
young.
fixes the computer.
He skews young. Conan.
I'd like
Thank
to make
you,
a,
Andrew.
My
I'd
mother
Thank you,
hates
Jay. Have a
him.
good day.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'd
Yes,
like to
go
make
ahead,
a
Shirley.
point if I could
Sure,
interrupt
she
my
would.
parents.
You know what?
Arguing
what?
You
here.
don't think that Conan skews young?
I think you two should get married. Number one, Jay touched on a point though.
Thank you.
Conan put out a letter in the paper basically saying fuck you to NBC. And then that night, where you would think people who read this letter, who heard about this letter, all you gotta do is go online. It was all over the internet. Anyone who reads this letter would say, I gotta tune into this fucking guy's show
Yeah.
to see what he's gonna say. So that night, he was third, I think, in the
That's
ratings.
impossible.
right.
I
No,
don't
he
believe
definitely
it.
wasn't first. Letterman beat him that night.
Only in a certain age group.
No,
No,
you're
Letterman
wrong.
beat him in the ratings
I
that
think
night.
in 18 to 49, Conan's beating him though.
Wrong.
At the height of the
Wrong.
controversy, no one tuned in to watch it.
I don't get that.
I don't get it. That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you why.
But Jay
That
made
he
the
may
point.
be too nice for late night TV. You may be right. Was nice where he was. He's never been a great talent, but he's had a nice.
God.
He's had a nice group of individuals that like him.
Never been a
and he was
good
perfect
talent.
at 1 o'clock in the morning. So when you get up to take a leak and you're scratching your ass and you sit down, you watch a few
No,
minutes
he's always been
of
big
this
with
guy.
like college kids and young people and artsy fartsy people who
Really?
do stay up late.
You
and
mean
have
people who live on an allowance?
No, Jay, no. People in their 20s have always liked Conan.
What
He's
she's
not
trying
for
to say
people in
is-
their 40s and 50s and 60s. No.
He's for people with a huge buzz late at night.
You're right.
He's
Thank you.
goofy. He's
Okay.
silly.
Well, anyway, we will play his monologue and you will hear the cheering, the standing ovation.
Yeah.
And they actually do go into the audience. And I will tell you, one of the ugliest 18 to 34-year-old audiences I've ever seen with the t-shirts and everything else. People that, So,
Howard did play a great joke from a previous monologue that he did this past week where he said, he dreamed as a little kid to host the Tonight Show.
that's what we were
For
going to run
7
now. Did
months.
he run
yeah.
it when, yeah. And did he play the one where, except if Jay Leno wants to? do it?
Yeah, that was the joke. It was
Did
great.
he just play the one joke?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I want you to listen to all the cheering and everything else, and we'll play a little bit of the monologue. And then poor Andy Richter, whose career completely flamed out, is standing there clapping like a friggin' seal.
Has anyone ever thought Andy is the reason why this is, like every show Andy's done?
That's a good point.
My fiance. Boyfriend.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Whoa!
You want to hear something else?
Whoa.
Andy Richter.
He says
You know,
that
Andy
too, Shirley.
Richter
He says that.
did my show twice in the afternoon, and it was never the same. I'm not joking. The
You
management
went from
never
10
never
listeners
liked
to
it.
9.
Yeah, exactly. Let's listen to Conan. I don't know how he does it. I have to tell you. How, after taking the beating that he's taking in the newspapers and the ratings, and how do you walk out and do this? And then all these people are cheering, and the drummer, Max Weinberg, whatever his name is, he's hitting the drums
I
and
heard
everything
that
else.
Jewish disdain right there.
You know what it's like? It's like the band on the Titanic. They played until the friggin' ship sank.
They're a great
Now,
band.
that's not a lie.
No.
Those poor bastards, of course, they were Union, as you know. They kept playing. As the ship went down, that's one of the old stories about the Titanic, and the band played on, right? All right, let's listen to Conan O'Brien. Go ahead. Andy clapping like a seal.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very. Thank you very much. We have such a good show for you tonight.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. We have a.
The chanting.
Thank you very much.
They're in the palm of his hand.
They sure, he's got them.
Everybody have a seat. Thank you very much. That's nice. Yes, I love you too, sir. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, hello there. I'm Conan O'Brien, and I've been practicing the phrase, who ordered the mochaccino grande? That's Look for me. And please tip, okay? Yeah, no. We're going to have we have an amazing show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're just having fun out here.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. We're going to have fun tonight. Let's have some fun. That's what it's all about. It's just about having some fun. You know,
Hold on a minute. Can you stop it for a second? You know when you have a big fight with your girlfriend or your wife and it's kind of almost over? Mm-hmm. And you get back together and you go, could we just go out tonight and just have like a good time and forget, what happened? Let's just go to dinner and let's pretend I didn't take a swing at you and you weren't drunk and the whole deal.
Let's pretend you didn't trip over 30 porn DVDs.
And you know
walked
what?
In the door.
I called you, a fucking bitch and all of it. You know what? Let's pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
He's on a bad date with America. Here we go.
Shut up.
It's been the fulfillment of a lifelong dream for me. And I just want to say to the kids out there watching, you can do anything you want in life. Yeah, unless Jay Leno wants to do it too.
That's Andy. Andy's loving it.
Andy's a little much, I have
You
to
still
admit.
using that? I could have it. Okay, all right. No, this is nice. This is very nice. According to a new poll, TV Guide poll, this is according to a new TV Guide poll, 83% of voters, 83% want me to stay at 11:35, which I think is very nice. And here's the interesting part. When he heard this poll number, President Obama asked, how can I get NBC to screw me over? This is good stuff. How can I get in on this? Of course, there's been an absurd amount of coverage in the news about our situation here at NBC, and it's been nice to get so much support, but I was very happy to see this on CNN. Take a look.
We're just getting a statement in from President Obama. Dan Lothian is over at the White House. Dan, the president, is now weighing in.
Conan is a friend of mine. He has been a stalwart champion. This is a good man who has always been on the right side of history. And for people to try to make hay out of that makes absolutely no sense.
He's on the right side of history. I've always been on the right side of history. I didn't know that. Yeah.
I wonder why we couldn't find the footage of him saying, I'm on Team Coco.
Yeah.
Andy ruins
I'm glad you
things.
brought that up. I'm
Really?
getting a lot of support out there, especially from an online group calling themselves Team Conan, which is nice. Yeah. Which is nice. No, it's very exciting. It's the first time in my life that I've been on a team where I wasn't picked last, which is nice.
All right, that's enough. I can't take any more. I can't. If I were Conan, I wouldn't have shown up. I wouldn't show up for work. I mean, it's just sad. But he has. Now, does he get paid $45 million a year, or what does he get paid a year? What's the $45 million? It's a lot. Ryan of Phoenix, the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley and Madison, and you know what? It's interesting for the few minutes that we've talked about it, but Jay Leno will be back at 11:35 around, I guess the middle of February.
After the Olympics, they're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
After the Olympics, he'll be back.
Fuck him.
Right. Ryan, yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, Ryan.
I agree with you that Madison is attracted to losers, and I'm a new listener here.
Brandon.
But, you can go to
So then you would know.
TVByTheNumbers.com and Nielsen Ratings, and Conan is ranked number one or tied for number one among broadcast networks in 18 to 49 for 9 of the last 11 weeks.
Are you holding your nose? Do you have your? So you say he's winning. So NBC has decided.
Correct, Jay. He's winning. Are you aware of that?
I didn't know that.
Well, that's why I called in, to make you aware of
You
it.
like Conan, dude.
What's that, sir?
Ryan, could you say something for me quick? Ryan, I stand corrected. He's winning. They're stupid at NBC and they're getting rid of the wrong guy. But, I would, but you know what, Shuley, forget Ryan, I'd like you to do it. I want you to say I'm coming
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Come on.
Oh my God. I'm coming. I am, by the way, taxes are coming up. Oh my God. I'm coming. Chase Online is a really helpful tool. Oh my God, I'm coming. Are you ready?
I have to tell you something. I feel the same way about women gorgeous women that you hear with the little tiny voices.
Like the baby voice?
No, yeah, that's the baby voice. But would you say I'm coming in the baby voice too?
Oh, I know you like when I do that.
Go ahead.
I'm coming.
Oh yeah?
Make it like you're really hot.
I'm coming.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, I'm coming. Oh my God.
God, we sound so weird.
The Ryan of Phoenix and the baby voice both coming together. Hey, Ryan, by the way, I know you're still listening. What's funny is what normal guy goes to whowinstheratings.com? Okay.
You came on my pocket protector.
I'm sorry.
Dirty little bitch.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
All right. By the way, Jim it says Greenwich, New Jersey here. You mean Greenwich, Connecticut, right, Jim?
It's actually pronounced Greenwich. It's spelled like Greenwich. No. Please listen. It's the little place is about 2 miles in off the Delaware Bay. It's in Cumberland County. It actually is pronounced Greenwich, not Greenwich. That's why I put the note in.
Isn't that something? Jim, you're as nerdy sounding as the guy Ryan, but you have a better voice.
I'm
Can
all
you say,
excited
Jim?
for Madison doing her little voice thing.
Well, Jay says that when you have a baby voice, it means you were molested.
Well, no, Dr. Drew used to do that with Adam Carolla on Loveline, which I never missed. And he would always, and I always thought it was weird that Dr. Drew, the therapist guy, would say, well, is it your uncle, your cousin, your brother, or your dad? And you'd listen and go, what does that mean? And the girl in the little voice would eventually, 90% of the time, admit that somebody had abused her.
So that means the Kardashians were all molested.
Boy, wait.
No, you know what? You can't say stuff like that. That means that perhaps, allegedly, somebody with a baby voice could be.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian.
She was not molested by her father or anybody.
Jay, way to take the luster off of Madison's cute little voice there. Man, that was a buzzkill.
I don't feel like getting sued today, Jim. I don't know about you.
I'll be the one that gets in trouble.
New Jersey. But Jim, why did you call? Why did you take time out of your busy Greenwich day?
I've lost track, Jay. I know you were talking Conan and Jay, but I've lost track. Aren't you? When it comes to Leno versus Letterman, you're a Letterman guy, right?
Well, yeah, because I do that they bring me out like a trained monkey once a year, and I throw the ball, I tell the joke. And Leno stopped having me on. Obviously, I wouldn't have me on either because I was in the Letterman camp. That's right, yeah.
I see. Well, I do agree with Madison that Conan really is the highbrow comedian. Even though he does his funny, silly little gimmicks and gags, he's the one who's making smart people laugh, Jay.
Thank you.
He's the one
who's
making smart. Yeah, he's the one. I know you
even
said
Garrett's nodding along here.
Most of America doesn't get him,
That's
and you're right. Most of America doesn't get him because most of America is fucking stupid, right, Jay?
Well, all of you, Madison and guys like you and all of that put yourselves above America, as far as I'm concerned.
I am above America. I have a college degree.
You know what? It's sad. It's people that have nothing going on.
Only 25%.
People who are not. Hold it a second. You're not a hard-working American.
I don't listen to Nickelback and work in a steel mill. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't.
But you know what? Without those people,
you're right.
You're nothing. You know what? You wouldn't even have a vibrator without the guys in the steel mill.
Jay, there's nothing for those people to do now. We've run out of stuff for those people to do.
Jim,
we
you know what,
Jim? We don't have
seriously,
factory jobs anymore for those uneducated people. So basically, right now, they're just kind of.
There is something for uneducated people to do. It's called TSA. It's security work at the airport.
You know what, Jim? I mean this. There's a pomposity about you and so many others that I totally disagree.
I'm really smart and I'm really funny and I'm really entertaining.
Really,
and
you know
really
what you are? You're really boring, and you sound.
Met me in
really,
person.
you're really boring.
Julie, tell him how tall I am.
He's so tall. It's like a tree walking in.
Yeah, and I won't.
So you're a really tall nerd. By the way, Jim, when you played basketball,
leave Jim alone.
Julie, tell him how I walk.
Jay, I was in the Glee Club and on the Chem League, and
That's exactly right.
Hold on, I got a little cough. All right, sorry.
No, you know what, Jim? I knew when you said you were tall that you didn't play sports.
You know what? It's nice that there is an intelligent person listening to this show because usually we do get a lot of trash. I'm sorry.
Club.
It's true.
Hey, Jim. for the rest of your life,
Club as well.
Jay.
for the rest of your life, and I say this about big guys that didn't play sports, football player guys or guys who like you, really tall, who couldn't play. For the rest of your life, you could have 5 PhDs.
I was on the
You will
newspaper,
never
too.
be as interesting in my eyes and America's eyes
I've got a
as
master's
someone
degree, Jay.
who can shoot a basketball
And Madison
into a
is
hoop.
right. Only 25% of the American population even has a college degree,
Yeah.
let alone a master's fucking degree.
Disgraceful.
Jay, where is
I
your
wrote a
degree
sports
from? I
column
lost
for
track.
my high
Jay?
school newspaper.
Jay,
Yes.
where's your degree from? I forget.
My degree is from Jacksonville University.
Well, no, don't laugh. Don't laugh now. I mean,
I'm sorry,
he went to
Madison,
college. And
I
that's
got to
a good
tell you
thing.
something. I want to tell you something
Now
right
I'm
now,
defending
Jim.
you, Jay.
Jim, you don't have to defend me. I'm going to tell you right
No,
now,
you
and
went to
everybody knows
college,
this.
at least.
There are these guys that you meet who are 6'5", and you go, "Wow, did you play any ball?" And you go, "No, I'm a nerd like Jim of Greenwich, New Jersey."
exactly a nerd, Jay. I don't
Hold,
think
you're not
it's
just
the
a
way you
nerd,
describe
but hold it a
it.
second.
I don't think
You're
you
a
got a good
person,
word.
Jim. I'm going to stop this after this. But you're a person that truly is sad.
Let me tell you how
And
sad.
it is sad to hear you because I know what you've gone, Jim. I know what you've gone through. Jim, I know what you've gone through. So there's no need putting you down. Life has done it long before you called me this morning.
And if life hadn't done it, and if life had not have done this to you, you wouldn't have to be calling in with fake names because you're not allowed to call into other
love
shows
my name is
anymore.
Jim.
It's not
Yeah.
Jim, dude. I know who you are. So please, you're not that smart, Point Dexter. All right.
All right.
Take it
Thank
easy.
you, Jim. Thank you.
Have fun at the school paper.
Thank you very much.
I liked him.
Now, if that's a Conan O'Brien viewer, I don't want to be a part of Team
I'm a Conan O'Brien viewer, and so is my fiance.
Hey, would Team Conan be a bunch of tall guys, surely, who never played sports? Would it be that
No.
group? Because Conan, did he play anything? No. Nothing.
I don't know why you're grouping us all into a basket.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to say it again, and then we're going to move on.
my
No, we
friend
move
Jill
on.
loves
No,
Conan. We love Conan.
we move on. Here's the truth.
Someone on
When
my Twitter-
someone is number one, you as another person should look at it and realize that if you take, whether you like Jay Leno or not, or whether you like anybody who's number
I
one.
don't think they should have taken his show from him. That wasn't nice.
Exactly.
I agree, but you can't.
But-
you don't give it back. That's Indian giving.
No, it isn't. When the person takes it
Native
over,
American.
who
Sorry,
shouldn't
Native
have touched
American
it,
giving.
the person who takes
It wasn't
over,
Conan's fault. It was NBC.
Listen to him.
I can't.
when you take a show over
This is why
that
women
you
get
weren't
hit.
supposed to have, karma comes into play, and that's what's happening to Gumby.
Oh, you
Okay.
have to stop it. It wasn't Conan's machinations. It was Jay.
This just
I
in-
mean, NBC.
Yeah.
This
All right,
just
we're gonna
in
drop it.
on my Twitter.
Yeah,
this guy
it's
says
over.
it's not
Yeah.
that Conan is great; it's that
Yeah.
Leno sucks. I think that's what Madison is missing here.
All right. Well, that's it. We've done it.
Okay.
And I think it's embarrassing for Conan.
I don't.
And I think he looks stupid
I think
at
it looks
night.
great.
All right. And so we will move on, and there will be, by the way, for many of you out there go, well, what do you have planned today? I would never say that, oh, what a great show. What an amazing show we have. I haven't the faintest idea how this show is
I'm
gonna
on
go.
Team Fallon. Fuck all y'all.
Right, exactly. We're going to have one of the guys from Axemen come on. And what I'd like to know is,
That'll
and I'm,
shut Madison up.
let me ask you a question. It's one of the number one shows.
Oh, come on.
And I got to ask this. It's going to be season 3, and it's just like the Crabbing show.
I love this show.
You do? I don't get it, but we'll talk to the guy in a few minutes. Plus, something that I've said a long time, and a guy whose book I've actually read. The joke about women and men who meet each other on the dating sites is so on my friends that go on these websites to meet women. It's like shooting, it's shooting whore fish in a barrel. Okay. It's all about getting laid. Have you talked to this guy, copypasteandbang.com?
Yeah, that guy.
Yes.
He
Well,
was on Howard. He's good.
We'll have Beaver Phillips on to talk about it. And it's the Jay Thomas Show. Plus, I missed Dick Clark. We were gone for the holidays. I did not hear his countdown. But we will play
I
the
watched
Dick.
it and I didn't hear
not
it.
nice. Come on.
I want to hear Dick Clark because
That's not nice.
he's got bigger balls than Conan. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley and Madison. We'll talk to the guys that chop trees down before it's all over. Yeah.
Real men.
as Shuli said, you throw that on at 11:30 at night, and it kills everything, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you put Axeman on or Deadliest Catch at 11:30 at night, talk shows are a dead issue.
I don't know why they don't do an Onion-type format. Every time I hear, do you have the one where the bus of the bus of sluts crashed?
Give me a second.
Yeah, what I think is that if you had a show on where you had interviews, and I love this guy Graham Norton, the English guy, the gay English guy.
I've watched his show a couple times. I don't get it.
Well, he makes people uncomfortable. Makes people uncomfortable. But also in the middle of it, if you had an onion type news, I think
That would be fun.
I think TMZ mixed with onion type news would win at 11:30 at night.
All I know is you go on their website.
Onion's too highbrow for this country.
If you go on the Onion and you click on their videos and you it's like spin the wheel, pick a video, I guarantee you will laugh. Like there's not an unfunny thing on there.
You don't think a lot of it's a little highbrow?
Well, not
highbrow.
Not highbrow, but
they'll believe it.
The Onion is
they'll
not
believe
for
it.
idiots.
Well, you know what's funny?
That.
I was sent some things on the
People
Onion.
don't get that humor.
Here's the reality, and I think this is why you and I run into a problem here. I am more aligned with the regular American. I'm more interested in normal.
Blue's collar.
I am a little bit more blue
comedy,
collar,
don't you?
I absolutely
I don't buy
love
that
it.
for a second. You're just saying that.
I'm not just saying that. I'm telling you.
So
somebody on this show should say it.
You really like 2.5 Men.
I absolutely do.
That show is so bad. It is.
How about King of Queens? My favorite.
I
show.
like that show.
I thought Big Bang Theory was your favorite show.
I love Big Bang Theory.
These shows are not funny. It's all
because
laugh
it
track.
makes fun of nerds. I think that's hysterical.
Oh, it's like laugh after laugh after I've watched.
When I watch the Big Bang Theory, I envision the guys and the women that have to write that
Bing
show.
Bang.
Whatever.
You can't
it is.
even say it.
Bada Bing Bang.
The
show.
Bing Bang.
That's how big of a fan
Let's
he is.
play. This is the one. This is the funniest Onion I've heard in a long time. This is my favorite Onion story. I don't know why they don't have a TV show. And I think that somebody, if they're too stupid to get on a cable channel or whatever, some channel ought to just steal this
You would think
idea.
like a Spike or, one of
Comedy
those
Central?
channels. Yeah.
Somebody ought to give them, you know what? They probably want too much money. That's all I can figure. At the Onion, they must think they're a big deal or something because
the production is really top notch on their stuff.
think
They have tons of extras.
I think they're a little elitist. I have to say that's probably why.
But the quality, it shows.
The Onion's hysterical.
Yeah,
it is. But they don't make a deal on television, and so they must be holding out for some huge amount of money.
Could it be a liability thing because they goof on real people and real stories? No.
Maybe the network feels that way.
That's what I'm saying. From the network's point of view, maybe they're
then it's
worried.
dumb. Then the network is dumb.
Because there was one story I remember I watched a month ago. It was about a fatal car accident that sadly Glenn Beck was not involved in. And the whole news story was about this teenager who died and how sad it was that it wasn't Glenn Beck.
All you have to do is
Very
do a
liberal.
disclaimer. What you're about to see is, made up news, whatever the deal
they
is.
do for
Well,
Jackass.
that right there says something, Shuli, because this country, as you've seen in recent years, is kind of to the right. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to make fun of somebody on the right like that, people don't like that.
Yeah.
Blue collar America doesn't like that.
They have more of the power.
All right, let's listen to now these stories. Now, this one isn't real, but I don't know that they're using comedians, which is really good because sometimes comics or entertainers, they want to let you know it's a joke.
They don't.
I like that they use people that look like they work at Channel 16 in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which I think is the worst local television station in America.
Which one?
Channel 16, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Hi, welcome to the Yarn Show.
It's not even that. They're regular news. And the microphone they use.
Oh, back here at Channel 16,
All right, let's listen to the...
Here's Janice with her top story. Janice?
If you're just joining us, we are covering a developing story. We go back now to Southern California where a VH1 bus crashed just a short while ago, spilling more than 2,000 pounds of slut onto Interstate 5 near Palmdale. The bus was transporting contestants for the new VH1 reality series, The Road to Knoxville, in which 18 scantily clad young women vie for the heart of divorced stuntman Johnny Knoxville. Officials there are struggling to control the spread of slut, which has already polluted the roadway and is spreading now down a hillside into residential areas. Let's go live to Onion News Network's Brian Scott, who's live on the scene. Brian, what's exactly going on out there?
Well, it's just horrible, Anna. The highway here was not pristine to begin with, but now it's covered in all of this orange-skinned slut. I've only been here an hour. I've already seen 4 three-way kisses and 6 tattoos with misspellings. And downwind, the stench of perfume and tequila mixed together is pretty difficult to stomach.
Well, it sounds like quite a scene. Brian, I understand that the sluts had been loaded onto the bus in Huntington Beach early this morning. Is that right?
That's where it began. Yes, the sluts were being transported from a negligee-wearing rock climbing contest there to a girl-on-girl paintball match when the crash occurred. There's been speculation, in fact, the accident was actually caused by some slut leaking into the front cab on the vehicle and getting on the driver.
I see.
Now, the local fire department is just not equipped to handle something this toxic. The problem is that we're very close to the San Gabriel River, and officials are concerned that the sluts might go skinny dipping in it or think it's a hot tub and make out in it.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
But we should say, too, that the crews, they're doing their best. They're just trying to keep these sluts contained with impromptu strip-offs and shooter contests in the ditch behind me.
Now, we've just gotten word that VH1 has issued a statement. It's on their website. It says they are fully committed to the safe handling of sluts.
Yes, but the EPA has urged VH1 to use perhaps a more diluted form of slut than this highly concentrated slut they use now.
Yeah, all sounds like good stuff, but I don't think VH1's going to ever go for that. Brian, stay safe out there and don't fuck any of those sluts.
All right, thanks, Anna.
Moving on, a new Apple
All right,
laptop.
now I'm telling you, I'm sorry.
TV show.
If that was,
That's a TV show.
That would be fantastic. But you'd have to have a host and the whole deal.
But wait,
I actually am a
that's
fan
a TV
of.
show.
I'm a fan of. Is it Chelsea Handler?
Yeah, she's
you know that
all right.
woman.
Chelsea
I like
Lately.
her. Chelsea Lately. I like that show. I just got an email. I am friends with George Lopez. I've known him for a long time.
Órale pues, George.
His
¿Qué
show's
pasó?
terrible.
You don't like his show at all.
He shouts. He shouts
Did
at
you
the
miss?
camera.
Did you miss the part where Jay said, "I'm good friends"?
Good friends with him. Well, I haven't done a show yet, so screw him. but he had Jennifer Love Hewitt on the other night, and she began talking about her vagina. Right?
What?
Who invented the term vajayjay? Was that Oprah?
It might have been Oprah.
Yes,
Right.
it was Oprah.
Now, I have to tell you, you can say vajayjay, you can't say pussy, I guess you can't say vagina, right? And you have to have a euphemism. By the way, I really like this Jennifer Love Hewitt. I have to tell you.
You do?
She's not an airhead at all. And I know you think she's an airhead, really?
Yeah.
But that was the fakest laugh I've heard.
She seems
in
all right
weeks.
to me. She's been around for a while. She's paying her dues.
You know what? I have to apologize. I haven't watched the George Lopez show. I don't know it.
He seems very nice, but
I'm not
Hispanic.
Hispanic.
He shouts. He comes out and he kind of shouts for 10, 12 minutes into the camera, and the camera moves around a lot, and he's standing, and it's very jarring. But
it's only for Hispanics,
he's
isn't
yelling. He yells.
Does he speak both languages, the regular and the Spanglish?
No, it's in English.
Now, I got to tell you, I'd put one of those Mexican shows on with a guy dressed as a bee. That's my favorite. I don't know what they're talking about.
It's always on.
Then they bring the women out with the giant boobs.
8 a.m. 8 a.m.
George
chicks
Lopez,
in thongs and fucking
George with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He has girls in cages.
Yeah, I like George Lopez. Do we have him, Garrett? Can we get him? Oh boy, listen to him back there.
Give me an example of the book, like something that helped you through a
Jennifer
tough
Love
time.
Hewitt.
Well, there's a chapter in there that I think you'll like, and it's called Vajazzling, and it's all about vajazzling. And after a breakup, a friend of mine, Swarovski crystalled my precious lady, and it shined like a disco ball. And so I have a whole chapter in there about how women should vajazzle their vajayjays.
What is that?
It really helped me.
You are the Crystal Gandhi in my eyes.
It looks like a little disco ball down there. It's great. No, I really, it does.
Studio 50
You
whore.
said disco sucked. I think it's beautiful.
And it's hot pink for today for you, so that's good.
Are you currently vajazzled?
I am currently vajazzled.
All right, that's George Lopez.
I have a question.
So she has put little
It's
sparkles
pierced?
down.
It's pierced?
No, it's some sort of sparkles or crystals down there.
It sounds like they
it's
did
in her book. She
it
was
sounds
promoting
like
her
they did
book.
a mold of her vagina and then like bedazzled it with all kinds of crystals.
No. I think she's got an actual thing that hangs off her clitty.
Well, you got to buy the book apparently to see it. But
Better be a
that's
fucking picture of it in the book if I'm going to buy it.
They're better.
Just go to Barnes & Noble and
You want me to
leaf
shell out
through it.
$20? There better be a picture of that snatch in there.
By the way, she's on an episode of Axe coming up. Axemen.
What they do is they chop off.
Men.
Well, my buddy, I used to have a
Chop off the
I used to have a
crystals.
buddy of mine in high school who used to always say,
She's on an episode of Gash.
yeah. I used to have a buddy of mine in high school who used to always have this, he was angry with women. He'd be like, man, don't listen to these women. Like, they act like that shit is gold plated with diamonds around it. Turns out one of them is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know who loves the, is this Jeff the Drunk who loves the Onion? This is the kind of people that would watch.
Really?
I
Jeff
actually love real onions.
I wouldn't think he would like something so high.
Jeff the Drunk, second time you've called us.
I like
yes,
the
Jeff.
onion grilled.
I love the onion. It's
Oh, good
awesome.
for you.
Really? What
Now,
do you love
since
about
I
it?
don't know the players of the Howard Stern world, and I
He's
pretend
one of the players.
I know he is. I pretend that I do so that they'll let me work here, and I act like I really think it's great and all that.
Yeah.
This guy ruined my life as far as I'm concerned. But Jeff the Drunk, are you like, I know you're an alcoholic, but what is the deal? Have you ever tried to stop drinking, or what is, I'm more interested in why you're like this than
He has a fascinating story, Jay.
what is the story? Just briefly. Let's not go into some long drawn out thing.
Just to give you a quick bullet points.
Can Jeff tell the story?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff.
I thought you
tell
said
the
quickly,
story.
but go ahead.
Yeah,
Jeff,
no,
quickly.
Go ahead, Julie.
No, go ahead, Jeff.
So
I
Jeff,
don't know.
you'd like Shuley. I tell you what, the story of Jeff the Drunk is told by Shuley. Is that what we want to do?
Shuley, whatever you want to call me.
Julie, whatever.
No, Jeff, quickly, just tell me your story quickly about the drinking, and then you can't recover
When I
from it.
was 9.
Go ahead.
When I was no. Okay. No, I don't want to quit drinking. I only drink to excess.
Good story.
You drink what?
To excess.
You drink to excess. I get that.
Yeah.
But most people are trying to recover.
why?
They're going into
the
rehab.
name
Dr. Drew has the
drunk.
show, and all the drunks come on the show, and then they cry and everything else. Do you cry and wish you could stop drinking?
No.
I kind of like that.
I'm the Tom Sizemore of Albany.
Now, what did you drink this morning? Have you had a cocktail yet? Have you down?
no.
Forget cocktail. Oh, so you're not drunk?
No.
Oh, okay.
Don't let the sound fool you. He's perfectly sober.
Well, what else is wrong, though?
When do you start drinking? What time does it start?
Well, see, I don't drink all the time, but I drink enough.
I see. Now, where are you right now? I always want to have
I'm in my bedroom.
You're in your bedroom. And where do you live? In upstate New York somewhere? Where do you live?
In Bern.
He lives near Albany, where I'm from.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you're in your bedroom now. Now, in the rest of the house, who inhabits the rest of your home?
My brother and his girlfriend.
And you live there with them. And do you have
You don't sound happy about that.
I'm
You have
not, believe me.
Really? Do you have gainful employ?
I'm not gainful employed.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Is it your home? Did your mother die and leave you the home? That's my favorite with the drunks.
Yeah.
Your mother. That's a big deal with the drunks. The mother dying and leaving the home.
Yeah.
Well, home is a strong word. It's a
Trailer, right?
Yeah, it's a mobile home.
That's a home. It's a home.
No,
Your
like,
brother and girlfriend, are they down the hall right now?
No. It's not like, oh yeah, she is. My brother's girlfriend is.
You ever go expose yourself to her or do anything like that?
You ever vajazzle her?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to vajazzle you.
So, has she ever looked at you in a way that you thought while your brother was gone, perhaps you could take a shot at that, Jeff?
Want to, believe me.
She wants
Oh, you
it.
do?
Oh, she wants to.
No, I want to take a shot at her face with my fist.
Oh, I see. That's not a happy thing.
That's the only shot I want to shoot at.
Now, did they pay you rent, or you're upset because your mother left it to you and your brother, the mobile home?
She left it to me, but I finally woke up to the fact that she should be paying a third.
Really?
And my brother only wants to pay half, and that's bullshit.
Jeff, half is more than a third.
No.
Oh, you want him to pay a third, she pays a third, so they pay 2/3, and then you only pay a third and not a half.
He wants to pay half for him and her.
And
I feel that's wrong.
Right. Why don't you get somebody as uncomfortable for him? Why don't you have somebody move in and they don't pay any rent and you live with them and you have kind of like a standoff where you have some, some slut. Have a slut move in with you. How about this? As a dog of some sort, or
I was going to say, where does Jeff go from himself?
You need to have somebody move into your room, and you announce. Wait a minute. You announce, they are not going to pay a third. I'm going to pay a half for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Listen. Call us anytime. It's wonderful to get deep into where you're... Because you know what? You're a human being.
I want to know where Jeff wears the sling.
We'll find out later.
On his arm.
Another episode of Jeff the Drunk. But the Axemen are waiting. This is the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley and Madison. Go to jthomas.com. The babe of the day is waiting for you there. You can also send us messages and stuff. And find me on Facebook. Madison's there also. Shirley's a Jew gone wild. And soon, not this weekend. When are you going to be out on the road?
Saturday,
again?
I'm going to be in Falls Church, Virginia.
Wow.
And I'm on Twitter now. So go to Shalom Shuley and JewGoneWild.com.
Fabulous. Gabe Rygard, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley and Madison from Axemen. Which of course is one of the big hits. It's the third season. It's on the History Channel. It returns Sundays at 9 o'clock. Is that right? Gabe, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. Good morning, guys.
Hey, Gabe. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Now you, of course, are one of the many companies that are focused on the Axemen show, right, Gabe?
Oh yeah, you bet. Yep.
I need to ask a question about this because I'm just sticking my toe into the reality world here, and some companies have been talking to me about stuff. When they shot the first episode, they need there to be, some action, like between you and your dad or something like that, right? Right?
Well, I mean, you always, I guess, they're probably looking for a little bit of drama besides the day-to-day work, but we just, believe it or not, I mean, we are, loggers are a colorful, group of people, and when you work as hard as we do and as close and dangerous as it is, I mean, everybody's on edge. So, I mean, stuff happens.
I know that. Well, here's my question. If a camera goes around most people, and you, of course, weren't, used to being on television and stuff, they're kind of like watch their P's and Q's. You know what I mean? It's like, did they do anything to get your dad to crank up with you, or you and your dad to have a little argument? I don't get how they do that when the normal day-to-day person wouldn't show any real emotion while a camera was going. You know what I mean?
Some people don't give a hell. They don't care. They just do what they got to do on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I know a guy. You know what? I know a guy. They just tried to do a show about his family's scrap metal business.
Yeah.
And his brother is a complete screaming, yelling asshole. Except when the cameras rolled, the brother did nothing. And so the other brother, the nice brother, I said, "Hey, how come you showed it?" And he didn't get it. I said, "You mean your asshole brother didn't yell?" He said, no, he wouldn't yell because there was a camera there. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't happen every day like that either, but I mean,
right.
It just, sometimes tensions get high, and I don't know, me and my dad have always had it isn't a normal relationship. You should just ask my wife. She can't stand it, so.
She can't stand your father's relationship with you. Is your wife on the show too? Do they show her not liking your dad and stuff?
No.
No. By the way, go to Rygard, RYGAARD, logging.com, and, of course, history.com for the Axemen. Now, Shuli, go ahead. You're a huge fan of Axemen, and you believe it ought to replace all the late-night shows, too, don't you, Shuli?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying, it's fun for me to watch what you guys do, because I know that I wouldn't last 5 minutes attempting to do what you guys do. Like, it's real man work. Like, these are the type of people that you don't really hear about, that are behind the scenes, that are keeping this country going, and it's amazing what you guys have to do. I wanted to ask you about the helicopters that lift the logs a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Have you ever been around when one of those has crashed? Because a lot of times it looks like that thing can barely lift those logs up from the ground, and they throw like 4 or 5 giant logs, and the helicopter just hoists that sucker up and brings it up to the trucks. Has that ever happened?
Oh, I'm sure it's happened, but I've never seen one crash. We've put some machines under some helicopters before to, sort and load on landings, and worked with them, a couple times in the past. But for the most part, they're actually they're expensive, but they're a pretty darn efficient way of getting wood out.
What's the shortest amount of time a new, like a rookie has lasted on the job, and like how badly hurt has a rookie gotten on the job?
Well, I've had guys over the years that didn't make it. I've had guys. I mean, the shortest term, I had a guy that didn't even make it to the first choker.
Now, what's the first choker? I'm.
Well, I mean just to start the day and heading down the hill and getting warmed up in the first. I mean, I've had guys in the past. I mean, this several years ago, probably 15 years ago. But I had a guy one time. We had a big job, and we were down over this mountain, and we had to cross a creek to get to the other side and back up the other side. And we actually had a handmade gondola to get over this little canyon. So we'd take a stick and we'd sit in this gondola and we'd drag ourselves with the rope across the canyon instead of having to walk around. And this one guy got down there and looked at us going across that and said, "Screw it, I'm going home. I ain't doing it."
Now, when you're on television on a show like Axemen, and you're married and everything else, and people see you, out and about, has that affected your relationship with your wife? Because I'm sure there are women out there now that would like a big, strong Axeman to just get on top of them. I mean, you must have groupies. Has it affected your marital relationship?
No, not at all. I mean, working out here where we live and work, there's not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people.
Unless I go, we're 2.5 hours from Seattle, so.
Good
unless
Lord.
I go, into the city or around, different areas or do different things, then I might run into some people. But for the most part, I mean, I'm proud of it. I live out in the sticks.
Has anybody recognized you when you went into the city, into the Costco to load up on food?
Oh yeah.
And what was it like when that happened? I mean, for us that it happens to all the time, we're used to it. But for you, and you're an Axeman, so what was it like?
It's a little surreal. I like the kids the best. Right. A lot of times it'll be like you'll see a group of a family and the kids will be tugging and pointing, and then the mom or the dad will let the kid run up to you and shake your hand and say hi. For me, that's the funnest part. I love it.
By the way, Axemen, of course, these guys, they chop down the trees, and of course, then they're the tree huggers who are telling you not to do it. And then there's the internet, and they're not using paper anymore and stuff like that. Gabe, are you looking at your life maybe in your lifetime, you'll see that they don't cut trees anymore?
Absolutely not.
No, you don't see that.
No way.
Jay, I have a question.
No,
sure, go ahead.
Well, okay, go ahead.
I see that you're based in Port Angeles, Washington. Have you ever come across Edward Cullen or Bella Swan from the Twilight books?
No, I have not.
Thank you for the laugh.
Yeah, thanks. Those are stupid. So wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm not interested in manly things like that. I saw Port Angeles, and that sparked my.
Don't mind her. She's got a vajayjay.
When I see a big truck filled with,
me.
when I see a big truck filled with logs, and you're from California, especially, you go up there and you go, oh my God, look, they're cutting down every tree. Once my wife and I were in Oregon, and when we went to sleep at night, there were trees everywhere. We got up, we went on a tour, we came back, and all the trees across from the lodge had been cut down by 2 Russian guys. And of course, we were horrified by this. And everybody else said, well, that's the way it goes and everything else. So you're kind of vilified by some group of people, aren't you, Gabe?
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand with the last question you asked me about whether wood's going to be around or this job's going to stop. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. We can make, there's the technology out there to, instead of using up corn to make biodiesel, I mean, we can use the brush and limbs when we're done logging, and we can grind that up and actually break that down and make biodiesel out of that for material. A lot of these mills now in our area are starting to adapt to putting in cogeneration plants for using wood chips to make electricity to put on the grid. So there's a lot of different resources for wood. And when you get up here to this part of the country, if you go out and go for a drive, whether it's 10 miles or 100 miles, you'll see that there's a lot of trees.
Yeah, my brother lives around that area. He lives in...
So cut them all down.
We don't cut them all down. In fact, it's a harvest.
Yeah, my brother lives in Amboy, Washington, and when I go up to visit him, it's just one truck after another hauling logs. But there's, like he says, there's just forests everywhere. There's trees everywhere. I have another question for you there, Gabe. When you work as a logger, how long does it take before you stop making shit jokes, saying logs and all that stuff? Because I would have to keep doing that.
You would make nothing but shit jokes about a log.
I'd be like, we got a truck full of logs, and I would just giggle if I heard somebody say
every time you did it.
Logs.
Gabe, what's the largest turd you've ever let out? That's the question. You ever had one that looked like something?
Have you ever told a new guy, hey, go grab that log down there, and it's really a turd you took?
No, that's a good one, though. I'll have to remember that.
Hey, Gabe, you got the equipment,
wrap
emotions
a
are running
choker
high.
around this, rookie.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever gone after another guy with the saw? Yeah, I mean, we have, you're probably not going to show that, but I mean, you've been around, like your dad's been around, your dad's hot tempered and all. Have you ever seen 2 guys try and go at each other with a chainsaw?
No, I have not ever seen, and usually loggers would rather go to hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, I see.
So usually every saws, tools, wrenches, chokers, everything else goes flying, and it goes to hand-to-hand combat real fast.
So it's like hockey. You drop your glove.
Yeah,
and
you drop
go to
the
fight.
gloves and you go for it.
All right. Okay.
What about...
It's way more personal.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the spin-off shows that have come from Axeman? Now you have swamp loggers, ice loggers,
floating logs. You have it all now. You have every show out
loggers
there.
with corn in it. What are your thoughts? Like, do you ever see one of these shows and go, boy, I'm glad I don't have to haul logs out of the snow?
Yeah.
Well, I think History Channel does the best job of showing what real loggers are out there doing. Because they got we're the Axemen. We got the big tower machines, and we're on the hillsides, and with all the manpower on the ground that it takes to do the job. These other guys that are out there logging, they're good. They're doing their part. I mean, they're a part of what makes the industry go around. But as far as what's on, what history is helping put out there, and this show that I'm a part of, I'm proud to be a part of it. I mean, I think we do a damn good job of, what we do out there. I mean, besides the fact we're colorful people, but you know what? This country was founded on that.
Right.
So,
now, do you do that log thing where you get on a log and you can get in the water and you can do your feet thing? Can you roll
sure, for about 2 minutes?
You do it for 2 minutes. Well, I could do it for
maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. Just depends.
Now, you're the reigning champion, and of what? From Axemen, Gabe Reigart? So the champion, you cut the most trees down? What's the champion?
Well, we produced the most log truckloads of logs in the time frame that they were filming with us.
How many owls came down when you were cutting those trees down? Owls just fall out of the trees?
Yeah, they just like rain. No, that's not
They
true.
felt like rain. You know, there's nothing more delicious than, I saw a bumper sticker once. We love the spotted owl fried. That was my favorite bumper sticker.
Well, they found out that the real reason the spotted owls are disappearing is because the Canadian barred owl is moving down into the States and killing all the spotted owls. You know that, right?
Oh, I knew that. Another thing.
Well, you loggers can come up with some good excuses, can't you?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to battle over that one any day.
If you had a person living in a tree to keep it from being cut down, would you like to cut it down and let it just fall with them in it?
If Gabe sees tie-dye out of the corner of his eye, he beats the shit out of it.
Yeah,
that's where he's at.
Actually, I climb up there and beat the shit out of him out of the tree, and then I cut it down.
Yeah. All right.
That's
hey,
a
Gabe
real
Rygaard,
man,
go to RygaardLogging.com, of course, history.com. Sundays at 9 o'clock, Axemen, third season, and he's like a king of the mountain, man. Thank you very much, Gabe. Gabe
Hey, guys,
Rygaard.
this was great. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's a real
I
man.
forgot to ask him one other question.
What? Ask me. Go ahead.
Well, BET is doing a spinoff. It's called Axemen, and it's just a guy asking him.
They just trying to ask a question.
Now that's funny.
Welcome to Axemen. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well, I have to tell you that these shows are huge, and that's a true story. That is a true story about this friend of mine, and they did the pilot and everything else, and the brother, who should have been yelling and screaming, didn't do anything, and so
froze up.
No, there were cameras there,
That's
and
what I'm
so
saying,
he didn't want to embarrass.
yeah.
No, he didn't want to embarrass himself, and so he was showing them how here's the medal and how you do it. And here's a story that I heard about the guys that do the motorcycles,
the Tuttles.
Right? That show was shot, and they, of course, loved that the bike was being built and all, but they said, gee, this is kind of boring. Nothing is happening. And they had been shooting for months. And right the last day they were shooting, the dad hummed a wrench at one of the kids, right? At the kid's head.
Yep.
And he had finally had enough. He was going to hold, he'd been holding his emotions back. And the producer said, now we got a show. See, once they hum something at something.
That show's like a soap opera now.
Well, I was going to say.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. They love all that.
It ruined the family. It really did. Like the father and sons aren't talking.
Fake.
No, because I know someone who knows.
They don't know what it is anymore.
And yeah, there's not a lot of faking going on.
That's the thing. It's like you can't have a show without all the nonsense
because
going on.
Reality TV for the most part is bullshit, so there's nothing real about it.
And you got to shoot forever.
But that's why I love a show like this, Axemen, because you can't fake what these guys are doing. The fact that this guy.
But they're cutting a friggin' tree down.
I don't know how a show like that gets made. I don't get it
either.
at all. A show about cutting down logs. Really,
it's
should
fascinating.
we watch this?
Why not? Wouldn't you want to watch something that you have no idea? It's knowledge.
I want to be
You're gaining
entertained. I
knowledge
want
in
to
something.
laugh.
I guess it's the second time.
X-Men's not as funny as Conan, I'll give you that, but
what makes you watch it
I don't
the
get it.
second time?
I don't get it.
What makes it? Because there was something appealing and interesting the first time.
What makes you watch it the fifth time beside marijuana?
Yeah, surely.
I don't know.
It's all
if you take
marijuana.
that out of the equation,
You wouldn't be
Right.
watching that show without pot.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a guy cutting down a log.
It's a guy show.
Tree, not a cutting down.
And I'm a
log.
girl.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to see the logs get cut, and then they go in the water, and then those guys with the shoes get on the log and go back and forth. I like that.
Well,
when they get with the
ESPN does a
shoes.
thing every year called the Great Outdoor Games, and it's like
I like that stuff.
Tree
Cut the log
chopping.
down, then get in the thing. and
Yeah.
you got the shoes.
Well, they do the one where they axe into a
The spike
telephone
shoes.
pole, and then they jam a like a plank in there, and then they stand on it and axe in the next step, and they keep climbing up this fucking tree.
All right, that I might watch.
Right.
There you go. Okay. Hey, let's go to Trev of Arizona, the Jay Thomas Show, on Howard 101. Yes, Trev, are you the guy we spoke to and you were in combat training and you're on your way overseas? Is that, or have you gone overseas?
No, I'm not going overseas for quite a while. Good morning, Jay. Nice to talk to you again.
Good morning, Trev. So you were leaving for training, and I not only did I say congratulations, but I said, learn how to kill these bastards good and dead.
Yeah.
Didn't I give you
Yeah,
that instruction? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about pulling the robes over their head, like
Yes.
the hockey move.
Yeah. So what did they teach you? Like you go into the combat training, and they actually put you in like a town, a fake town, and do they have other guys running around with the headdresses on so they look like the Islamo-fascists that you're going to be after?
They do more of that in more advanced training. This was basic combat training. This was getting familiar with the rifle, following orders. Basically, we did some, live fire shooting where you dismount, vehicles and things like that. There was nothing really, engaging other people or anything. It's more, getting good with the rifle. The U.S. military is big on, one shot, one kill. You don't waste a lot of ammunition. They want the best shooters that they can get. I actually shot expert. I shot 36 out of 40 on the qualifying range.
Wow.
So I was pretty
Me
happy
too,
about
but
that.
I was in Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's right. Now, wait a minute. Do you play Call of Duty, Trev?
I play no video games at all.
Wow.
That's not good.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, I'm not a.
What's the matter
I'm
with
not
you?
a hunter. I'm not a hunter. I don't even own a rifle. I own handguns, but I don't even own a rifle. So they say that people that go to the training that aren't, because they teach you their way of shooting, and those people end up doing better than the people that have got bad habits.
Now, Trevor, did they do the thing where you and the other guy fight each other with the baton?
Q-tips?
The Q-tips. Did you have to do that? The what?
The pugils.
The cujal?
It's called pugils. Pugels.
Did you have to do that?
Oh yeah.
My pugil's dripping.
Was there a woman? Were there women in your class?
Yeah, there was female soldiers. They usually fought each other. They fought each other in the pugils.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. When they get overseas, they're not going to go, "Oh, look, they're women. Bring our girls up to fight them." They're not going to be sending women to fight women. I mean, why didn't they have them fight a guy?
Cat fight.
Well, they do. They try to incorporate them as much as they can. They keep them separated in other branches, but with the Army, as far as basic training goes, they're all together.
Wow.
And they fight each other, but there's some pretty tough female soldiers, and they can hold their own.
Do you think there are any lesbians in the Army? Because it's don't ask, don't tell, and all that.
Yeah,
you
Doc,
guys sit around and go, "We think she might be one."
Yeah, you're not there. You're not there for all that nonsense. You're there to train and you're there to learn.
Do any of the female soldiers drop the Q-tip and pick up a double-sided dildo instead? And just go, "Come on, let's go, fucker!"
Hey, I actually got a good story about the pugils. When I was
good pugil
fighting
story.
the guy I was fighting, and they give you these hunk of shit old football helmets that you wear.
Yeah.
And the face mask must have been bad on the one, because I turned around and I gave the guy a rifle butt series to the face, and it went through his face mask and cut the bridge of his nose open. He had to go get glued
That
shut.
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Hey, you cut my nose.
Now wait a minute. You smashed the guy in the face, and his face is all smashed. And so, do you laugh when you do that? What's the feeling you have when you smash?
Actually, I looked at the drill sergeant. I said, because he wanted people to get more aggressive, and I looked at him and I dropped my pugil stick and I said, "You want blood?" And then I went over and kind of made sure that he was all right. And
Is
I
it
actually
like an officer and a gentleman where the DI, the drill instructor, picks somebody out and says, "Come at me with a real knife," and you go at him with a real knife and he get your hand and he twists it? Did that happen just like in the movie?
Kidney punch you?
Not necessarily. They're pretty. They don't want you, even touching the drill. You can't get near a drill sergeant. I mean, you don't engage them.
Nobody comes at him with a knife?
No, absolutely not. You can't. They don't want. It's a liability.
Where do they get that from?
Jay, you
all that
think
shit?
it's like the old Pink Panther movies where Kato would just jump out of somewhere and attack Clouseau?
No, there's always in every movie, even in Full Metal Jacket, they eventually kill the poor bastard.
Right.
But they hate the drill instructor, and there's always the scene where the drill instructor says, "You think you're tough enough to take me? Come on! And then the guy goes, and he goes at him, he's crying, and God damn it,
I got nowhere else to go.
Yes, did that happen? Did someone yell, "I got nowhere else to go"?
No, there was nothing like that. There was a few people, when we first got there. Some of these kids jumped off the couch and went there. I had been training before I went because I'm a little older and I didn't want to, break down when I got there. But you could see who had been training and who hadn't been training during they give you an initial, physical fitness test where you run a mile and you do a minute of push-ups and sit-ups. And there were some people on lap 2 there that were hating life. And
now wait a minute. Now wait a second.
You just
You're
see me
making
vomiting
this
Cheetos.
Now wait a second. You're making this not sound any suicides. They have suicides in the boot camp too. Anybody kill themselves?
No. No, nothing.
What
like
sort
that.
of pussified, training did you have? No suicides. No one yelled, "This is all I've got," and attacked the drill instructor. I don't get it.
No, there were some people on the 2-mile run though that were ready to quit. That was tough for some of them.
It sounds like an episode of the Kardashians more than actually. When you're talking about how rough the 2-mile run was. Now, are you ready to go overseas and begin killing the enemy?
I have some more training. I told you I'm in the officer candidate school, so I got to get through that first, and then do.
But are you going to be trained how to send underlings in to do the killing soon?
Well, I don't know about underlings, but I will be trained to instruct or not instruct, but to give orders and keep my guys alive.
Good.
Well, I was just cleaning out one of our cleaning out the baby room. What's going to be the baby room, and I came across the shell from John from Rhode Island.
We never heard back from him. He went back for his 3rd tour. We've never.
I heard back from him. I heard back from him. He's back. He was in. They hit an IED. And he got hurt.
You know what? That's what they train you for. Right. It's not so much shining your boots and the whole rigmarole like that anymore. What their big thing is identifying these objects.
When you roll over one of those things, can't you just lift yourself off the seat?
No.
They're
vicious. They show you videos of those things blowing up because those sickos over there film it all. And they have videos of them blowing, and it's scary. I mean, it makes you think, that you definitely want to be heads up and you want to be, on point at all times because you don't know what, something on the side. That was a big part of the training was identifying things that were out of place.
Wow.
Things. That
good luck. I can't wait till you become a killing machine. So call us back as you get more killer crap. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. It's poor guy. Nowhere else to go. Yeah, we're still there. Trev, listen, we got to move on, but I need you to become a killing machine and call us back and bring back a scalp is what I would like.
You were talking about the dating services, and I actually met my wife on eHarmony, and she's a wonderful person. So there's not just
you're too nice. You know what? I think you're too nice to be a killer.
I'm smart.
Yeah, you may end up at it. You know what, Shirley? Sounds like a desk guy to me.
Nah, it sounds like a drone pilot to me. Dropping
maybe a drone.
Dropping a little tomahawk from...
Kill him from Arizona. There you go. Thank you, Trev, very much. The Jay Thomas Show. Stay where you are. In a few minutes, we are going to have a guy that says that if you want to just... copy, paste, and bang. Beaver Phillips will be here to talk about it. Plus, I missed Dick Clark and the countdown. We'll have that. We'll also hear one of my favorite things, redneck football fans pissing on shirts, and Glenn Beck's diary. Stay where you are. Man, I don't know if we can get it up on jthomas.com, but have you seen the new picture of Courtney Love?
Oh, my God.
Naked with
yesterday.
The tattoos everywhere.
Awful.
I don't know if she has custody of her child now or not.
She lost him.
She lost custody.
Oh, man.
Frances Bean recently.
Who has custody of the
her
kid?
grandmother and I think
Kurt's
her
parents.
aunt, Kurt's mom.
Oh, because
you mean the people that did such a good job with Kurt Cobain?
I think that Frances Bean is probably a little brat because
I'm
they
sure
were getting
she is.
along fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then just recently she said, I don't want to be with my mother anymore. But she's like,
how old is the little
17.
girl? It's time for her to move on. And then I have the Amy Winehouse picture with cigar burns. These are the fabulous.
She's disgusting.
Oh,
I never liked her.
It's unbelievable, though, Courtney Love. I mean,
I haven't seen it yet.
Man, oh man, it just.
She doesn't look
first of all,
good?
she's 45. No, she looks awful.
She doesn't look good. I thought it was Brittany Murphy's autopsy photo when I saw it. It is
She's
not
45 years old, and it's really bad.
Oh.
And
I always kinda liked her.
she doesn't show her. She has her hands over her breast, but my God.
What about her vajayjay?
Thankfully for us, her ribs are covering her breast.
Man, unbelievable.
I always liked her.
What's there to like? I mean, I don't know. It's just so destructive. I don't get it. And she looks completely beat to hell.
Yeah.
But why do people think they have to share these pictures with me? That's the other thing. I don't need to see.
Who sent
Don't
you that?
send me. Some listener sends it. Did you see this? I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. By the way, we will have a guy on, and I guess Howard's talked about him before, but he's got the book, and his name is Beaver, and I think in the book he says that even if you are tremendously fat and ugly, that's the weird thing about
I have
this.
to disagree with you.
If you're completely fat and ugly, you'll still be able to get laid using his system.
Oh, okay.
On the internet dating services. Now, I am, of course, do not think that's true because you eventually have to meet the woman, right? You have to actually, go face to face before you do anything. But apparently his deal is that if you use his system, right, you will, of course, be able to get laid. Now, he's here just to sell his book, right, Shuli? But if you're fat and ugly and awful looking, when the woman sees you, she's not going to do anything with
Well, unless
she's blind.
She's drunk or really desperate for some
or is
dick.
worse off than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go now to
That's like the pills for people with social anxiety, and then they throw out at the end of the pill commercial all the side effects, and it's like may cause eye bleeding, club foot. It's like, listen, once you get the guts up to go out to the club, your eyes are bleeding, and you're fucking got a huge limp. How are you going to get laid from that?
Yeah, I don't get how that. I mean, you get any book. I mean, I know guys that laugh at women who are on the internet. And I'm not talking about young guys. I'm talking about guys that are divorced in their 40s, in their 50s, go on the internet and get laid constantly.
It
friend of
depends
mine.
on the site. There's like nerve.com. Those fun sites are kind of just for hooking up. If you're a little more serious, eHarmony.
But you want to be with somebody.
But you don't go on eHarmony. Hold on, you don't go on eHarmony just to get laid. It's too much work. They give you pages and pages.
No, but
of
that's
things.
what you want. That's what you want. You want to get somebody who thinks it's going to be a relationship because they're going to give you their all.
Yeah, but the guy's not going to go through that huge questionnaire either.
I
Jay.
will. I would do it. I'm not single, but I would go through the
Let's
questionnaire.
sign you up. Let's sign you up.
bet
Well,
your
no,
ass.
then you would do Match or Nerve or Lava Life or one of the other ones. You're not going to do eHarmony.
You don't want to
just
get
wanna
up with
laid.
somebody
Too much
who's
work.
Let me explain something to you. There's guys who are blowing themselves up for pussy. Okay, forget about filling out a questionnaire.
Oh,
on
you mean the
eHarmony.
Muslims with the virgins?
I'm just suicide
right.
bombers are promised virgins.
I never
They get
thought
up
of
there-
that, Del. You know what, Shirley? Oh, God. Ira the Weatherman is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, JJ.
Yes, Ira.
Vajayjay. Good morning, Vajayjay.
Big
Yes.
day for me.
Oh, yeah,
What?
happy birthday.
The Seven Seas presented me
What?
with such
Put him back on the microphone, would you,
Is
please?
it your birthday, Ira?
Yes, I brought in a cake.
Oh, wonderful, Ira.
And the Seven Seas, Steve.
Yes.
And Mr. Angelo and Zoya.
And baby Eleanor.
They
Unbelievable.
They presented me with a beautiful, beautiful cake.
Everybody, can we play a little happy birthday for Ira the Weatherman? I don't like birthdays, but if Ira believes that...
I am 39 years
Yeah, we heard that
old.
joke.
Aw.
Happy birthday to you, everybody. Happy birthday. You have any sitar music? To you. Happy birthday,
Dear Ira.
Happy birthday. Ira the Weatherman. Ira the Weatherman. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
There we go.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Ira.
There you go. Ah, fabulous.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
Somebody shut this kid up.
There you go. All right, thank you.
Thank
you in
you,
a few
Jay.
Wonderful, Ira. Wonderful. By the way, for those of you that are football fans,
Jets
there's not-
all the way.
There you go. Jets all the way. Tomorrow, New Orleans plays against Arizona, and of course, I
New
lost.
Orleans is going to win.
God, I hope so. I got a fresh duck gumbo that my son worked on all last night, and we got the people coming over. We got the gumbo, we got red beans and rice, we got fish that we brought in from Louisiana.
Wow.
And I'm down $3,000 after last weekend. So. It's
Nothing to you. That's a drop in the
It's
bucket.
a drop in the bucket. It means absolutely nothing to me. I light my cigars with that much money.
Right.
And so tomorrow's a big bet, and I'm just hoping. The problem with betting is I want it to be 50-0. That's the only problem. You don't care if there's a good game or anything. And then who comes on after, Garrett? Who comes after the Saints play against Arizona?
It is the Colts and Ravens, right?
Wow. Many people would love to see the Ravens win, but I think the Indianapolis will win that game. So that's a big weekend for me. Now,
Jay, I
yes.
made my birthday wish.
What
but
is it?
Madison is still here.
Well, I see.
Well,
it happens
and
all the
Madison
time.
will
Farts,
be over
let me
here
tell you.
Yeah.
for a long, long
Nah, I don't
time.
think so.
That's right.
I'm done.
Now, speaking of sports, let's go now. This coach from Tennessee, Lane Kiffin, young guy, he coached for a year with Oakland.
You want to talk about anger?
Then he goes to Tennessee and he gets them in trouble. And then he replaces, like within a minute and a half, the guy that won every, championship, turned, Southern Cal around, everything. Pete Carroll goes off to coach. And I went to the University of Tennessee and I lived in Knoxville, and I knocked up JT's, my son's biological
So that's
mother in
where it
Knoxville.
happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Happened right there in the Big Orange Motel, I might add. And I worked with a guy, and they painted everything orange, and everything's orange, and you cheer and you scream, and people just, and you don't know football until you live in the South, especially the Southeastern Conference. And I'm telling you now, it is vicious. This guy has had death threats and everything else. And if you go on online or go to YouTube, do we have the guy that is so angry at the coach leaving Tennessee that he urinates on clothing? Do we have this guy?
It's time. Yeah, it's time, motherfucker. I got something for you, Lane Kiffin.
Tiffin.
Used to be a pretty Tennessee shirt, but it's got Lane Kiffin on it. It's time. You got that shit right.
Here we go.
This guy's a coach?
No, this is
coach
a fan.
quit. This is a fan.
It's disgusting. People in this country are
Y'all see that?
disgraceful.
Piss on you, Lane Kiffin.
I can't watch.
You sorry piece of shit.
There you go.
The shirt was gross to begin with. It's
I got more.
bright orange.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I got a lot more for you.
I got to
Hold
take
on.
a shit.
Lane Kiffin.
This guy doesn't
Hold
like
on.
Conan.
Quiet.
Oh,
Quiet.
It's time. You can believe that shit. Lane motherfucking Kiffin.
Hold on. Get
Hang on.
this.
I forgot. I got two of them goddamn shirts.
There you go.
Bought
Get
one
your
for
wife.
me and one for my
White
wife.
trash.
Yeah. Here we go.
My wife
Piss
will
on
never wear that shit no more.
No, she won't.
Yeah, it's time, bitch. It's fucking time, alright.
There you go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is he gonna take a
Lane
dump?
Kiffin.
Here we go.
Lane Kiffin.
Another guy.
It's time, buddy. It's fucking
I'm going
time,
to eat my
alright.
camera.
What is he doing?
He's ripping down posters.
Tell you what I think about Lane fucking Kiffin.
Grown man with posters hanging
Now, you have just spent 20 grand to send your children to college, right? They live in the dorm. The coach quits, okay?
Yeah.
The football coach quits. Let's listen to the students of the University of Tennessee after
The
Lane.
University of Tennessee's not 20 grand.
Listen. Rioted. They burned mattresses.
33 games. He can't do anything without the daddy. He lied. He told. I talked to 12 years ago. He told the early release.
All right. All the little sorority whores were out. You know, every girl that's in a sorority is a whore, will always be a whore, okay? And pretend
Let me tell you something, Kenny Loggins. You don't want to write a new album? Fine. Here's your Footloose album. Check this out, Kenny Loggins.
Now, let me tell you what the record of Tennessee was last year. They won 7, and they lost 6 games. They had the team was awful. Now, let's run.
Why do they care? Don't they want him to leave then, this coach?
They're just football fans from the Southeastern Conference. That's all. Now,
but he's not a good coach if they lost all this.
No, he's awful. He's a kid. His dad's the defensive coordinator.
So shouldn't they be happy that he's leaving?
Or whatever. But at USC, let me tell you the loss of Pete Carroll. He turned a program around that was done, and a program where O.J. Simpson was the big star, and Mike Garrett, and all these great, done, finished. He turned it around. He won the national championship once or twice, undefeated, sent quarterbacks everywhere. Garrett, in Los Angeles, please play the reaction to one of the greatest college football coaches leaving Southern Cal in a lurch. Play the...
What point are you trying to make here?
Nobody did anything when he left. Nobody.
California.
75-mile-per-hour wind.
That was all there was. It was too windy to riot. Nobody rioted. There's nothing on the internet. Nobody pissed on his shirt. Nobody called him a name. They are threatening this guy Lane Kiffin's life. I'm not joking. They are. Oh, absolutely.
But he wasn't a good coach.
No.
So why do they care?
That's exactly right. It's so stupid.
Because
they be
he
thrilled?
left for another team.
Yeah,
that's why.
right. By the way,
a team with Jewish people, maybe.
Yes.
It's the same state where guys go, I know I beat you. You leave me, I'm going to kill you and all the kids. I'm going to kill all the kids.
And one more thing, Kenny Loggins, that Essential CD, there's 3 songs on that fucking thing.
Would you do some Googling?
Yeah. You call
way,
Leap of Faith an album? You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
Kenny Loggins.
You gotta be Vox Humana? Get out of here, man.
The night that I opened for Michael McDonald, right? So I opened for Michael McDonald, and after the show, Kenny Loggins came up and sang with Michael McDonald. Then afterward, there's a dinner, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jay Thomas.
So I know I see Kenny Loggins around.
Middle-aged women.
But Kenny Loggins never, I've known him for 20 years, never remembers my name, never remembers that he met me.
You read some of his autobiography, didn't you?
I did, because he and his wife met in a pile somewhere, and he was giving a book out at an event, a charity event, and I opened the book, and in the book, it says, I think that they were into some sort of multiple sex partners or whatever, and I asked somebody at the charity once, I go, has anybody read this book? I don't think we ought to be giving this away, right? So he never forgave me. And then I introduced him as the great Kenny Loggins from Loggins and Messina.
Yeah.
Came up to me and said, don't ever mention Messina.
Why?
This is years ago.
It's not like
I don't
you
know
said
why.
Loggins and Hitler.
Yeah. So now the other night I see him again, and of course he does not recognize me, but this is what he's doing. He goes, they're looking under a table, right?
Are they looking for his career?
No, they're looking under a table for his scarf, right? And he had worn a scarf around his neck. Now, I did not see him come in. I don't know anything about the scarf. I'm getting up to leave, and I see Kenny Loggins and a couple of people look, and he looks up, and he kind of has a vague memory of me, and I go, Kenny, it's me, Jay. And he, oh, yeah, how you doing? I go, what are you looking for? He goes, my scarf. So I said to him, you know what? I saw it around your neck when you came in. And it caused them all to jump under. And he goes, I told you I had it on. They're all under the table as I left. Okay? I mean, and here's how stupid Kenny Loggins is, right? We have this amateur kind of baseball team called the Santa Barbara Foresters, right? And you let people live in your home because they don't have anywhere to live. The kids come. They're going to play baseball. Kenny invites this young pitcher from the team to live in his home with the woman he met in a pile, okay, somewhere, that he has children with, okay?
What is a pile?
A pile of people, arms and legs sticking out, allegedly. I got to get the book and find out what he did. Well, guess what happened with the wife and the baseball player that was sleeping in the guest room?
Right, they got together.
Guess. So she dumps him for some young guy and moves to, like, Ohio. Now they got children involved.
Does the phrase knuckleball mean anything to you?
Well, guess what? She's back in town. The pitcher's gone off to wherever he's playing and everything else. And Kenny's looking for his scarf under a friggin' table. I should have said to him, you think your wife's under there with the pitcher, Ken? Could you know.
Next time.
Every time you say his name, I mean, my head just, swims.
Well,
the other guy,
his autobiography, it's disgusting.
Michael, what's the other idiot?
McDonald?
No, the other guy that sings
Bolton.
like a... Oh, my God, that idiot. He's another one. I've seen him 50 times.
Do you know who his enemy is?
Who?
Conan.
Oh, really?
Well, I like Conan. I like Conan. By the way, let's go to Carl of New Hampshire. Carl, the Jay Thomas Show. What have you been listening to today that you've decided to take time out of your busy day to comment on? Carl of New Hampshire. What have you wanted to do?
Jay, Julie Madison. Hey, I was fascinated. I love that logger show. And I just wanted to tell you about a show that I've got going to be coming out called Extreme Landscapers. And in the very first episode is a terrible, terrible leaf blower accident. So I hope you'll tune in.
I have to tell you, you're joking, but they will do that. They will have a leaf blower show.
What about the Great American Manscaping Show, where they just
shave a man's pubes?
It's just guys.
It's a different Disney character.
It's just guys talking over a buzz. Yeah, I'm looking to get this done before 3.
That would be a good idea to shave Mickey's ears out of your pubes.
Hi!
Tonight on Extreme Manscaping.
It's just shaving, though. That doesn't hurt.
We got a bleeder. All right.
Oh.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much.
Good stuff.
Hey, Matt of Minnesota, the Jay Thomas Show. Let me run through these phone calls quickly. Yes, Matt, how are you? Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to explain a little bit about Lane Kiffin and why Tennessee's so mad. You guys care?
Tell me. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had worked with the Raiders before, and he had a falling out with Al Davis, and everyone thought Al Davis was the prick. But turns out Lane Kiffin really was a prick, wanted to get out of his contract and leave early, so he went to Tennessee. They thought he was a good hire. He was a really good coach. He was turning on the Raider organization, went to Tennessee, and he's got a lot of respect in the football world, and they really thought, and he was talking smack to Florida, and he was getting the Tennessee people really riled up about Tennessee football again, and then he leaves 1 year after, because before he coached the Raiders, he worked under Pete Carroll for USC.
Hold on, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. The guy was pissing on a T-shirt on
but
YouTube.
Come on, that's beautiful, baby. Come on.
And what? So you live in Minnesota, and you're upset about him leaving Tennessee also.
Very unhonorable.
Unhonorable? I see. I got you.
Jerk-off move, absolutely.
But it's football. Let's get it out in the open. It's really kids.
I got something for you, Link. I'm going to piss on $20 because that's what it costs to buy this shirt that I just pissed on.
Do you guys know what volunteer football is in Tennessee? Those fuckers are nuts.
Big deal.
No, I know. I went to Tennessee.
Obviously,
I know all
we just
about
played a video of a guy pissing on 2 shirts. We get the memo.
They got death threats. Yeah.
I'm sure there's worse. Yeah, there's death threats. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the worst thing. The coach of Notre Dame he wasn't winning, and they hung his dog. Now, that's not a joke. They killed his dog. They absolutely, listen to this guy laughing.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
That was awful. Shut up, Ira. Don't laugh at that.
Horrible.
And they spit on his daughter. I want to say it's Dan Devine, I think.
The worst part is the dog was only in for 3 plays. I mean, he wasn't the reason that the season was shit.
You know.
You gotta love the Catholics, right?
Yes, you do. Thank you.
So much for forgiveness.
Thank you, Matt of Minnesota. Thank you. Steve, Georgia, the Jay Thomas Show, another Southeastern Conference powerhouse.
Steve, in Georgia,
Sure.
it's going to be around 50 degrees today on the beautiful skies.
It's always beautiful skies.
That'll work.
There you go.
That'll work.
Steve, have you ever been driven to, when the coach quits over there at Georgia, you want to piss on a shirt?
You know what, Jay? I'm from the South, and I know people from the North and the West talk about people from the South, and now I see why. Who gives a flying fuck? Would you rather live in Tennessee where everybody marries their mama, or do you want to go out to California where the women are just, scorching hot? I mean,
so you're putting the whole state of Tennessee down, and you're saying everybody in there, they just marry their own mother.
Well, they do, Jay. It ain't nothing but a bunch of damn mountains and a bunch of incest. I mean, shit, come on. It's just fucking football.
You know that my son, JT, do you know, I've never announced this before, but I impregnated my own mother to have him. I've never announced that on national radio.
Awesome.
That's the truth. My own mother. Oh my God, John. Oh my God, John.
Dead dog.
Right. So in Georgia, nobody marries their own mother in Georgia, Steve?
No. You have to either go to Tennessee or Alabama to do that. And if you go on Wednesdays, usually it's half price. So that's
all right. Thank you, Steve of Georgia.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, man. Jeff, St. Louis, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Jeff. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, Jay, you may have discussed this already. I might have missed it, but
No.
the reason a lot of these people are upset is, these kids commit to these colleges to play under these coaches.
Yes.
And then when a coach leaves, these kids don't have, if they decide they want to leave that school, they lose a year of eligibility.
Yeah, but this man was not a football player who pissed on the shirt. He was
No, he's a fan.
The
He was
thing
a fan.
is,
Well, yeah, that was,
just last year, they got rid of a coach that was there for 17 years to hire Lane Kiffin. So it's not like Tennessee has any loyalty either.
That's exactly right.
And not only that, I mean, these players that are, you're worried about.
I couldn't have spit that out better than you, Garrett.
Thank you.
And you worried about these athletes, trust me, they get a lot different treatment than any other student that goes to that university. And as bad as things may be in their world because their coach is gone that they signed with, the rest of their life is going to be pretty okay, especially, being there on a scholarship. I mean, any big school like that is taking care of their players.
Let me tell you something else. Many of these players, Madison, will follow him to Southern Cal because they're not signing up for education.
Sports is a business. There is no
They're
loyalty.
signing up to play in the next, on the next level.
Be pissed at the athletic departments for hoarding all the fucking money that these kids are playing. Everybody's making money off these kids, and they don't get a penny for it.
How about this? How about somebody sues somebody and says they can't coach because they signed a contract?
Ooh.
That's the other thing, Jeff, of St. Louis. I have a contract, and if I tried to quit, I just can't go work someplace else. They would say you can't.
They cockblock you.
Lane Kiffin had an $800,000 buyout in his contract.
So he paid $800,000.
Well, USC did.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I've got an $800 buyout.
But like other coaches have like $5
If I
million.
give me $800, I'm out of this thing.
Right, $5 million.
So they
right.
don't leave. But some reason that Tennessee only gave them $800,000.
Well, because
Garrett, when I'm making a point, I don't need facts.
No, sorry.
Thank you.
I apologize.
That's right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Let's go to Fritz of Charleston, South Carolina.
Fritz, I love that name.
Hello, Fritz. How are you, Fritz?
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Hello, Fritzy.
Hello,
It's
Fritz.
going to be 58 degrees in North Carolina.
There you go, Fritz.
Nothing
You
is
got the
finer.
weather. It's South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Either one.
Either one. Yes, Fritz. Go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about that Tennessee fan that peed on the shirt.
Yeah.
That guy is probably the most passionate, and I hate to use that word when I'm describing a football fan, but he is probably the most passionate Tennessee fan that you would ever come across.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yes, he follows that team. He lives and breathes Tennessee football.
And no, I know, but there are lots of. I mean, I live there, and I'm telling you, the radio station I worked at, they painted the entire building inside and out orange, and it was hard to go to work. It was difficult. And I'm telling you, bright orange, the color of UT. It was difficult to work every day.
Imagine what those Hooter girls must feel like.
It was awful.
Exactly.
It was awful. Yeah.
But I bet Big Daddy Vols' house is orange. That guy puts out a video every week about every football game. He puts out about 3 videos a week.
Yeah, he does have a ton of videos on his site.
He follows Tennessee football. He lives and breathes Tennessee football.
You know what? We might need Garrett. We need him on this show.
We need him on that show.
We need him on the show. We need this, a man of passion. We need him on the show. Thank you. You know what, Fritz? God forbid you should be producing radio. Because we missed it. We all missed it.
I can relate, though. I mean, I peed on a Duke jersey once, and while a guy was still wearing it. So it was weird.
Why?
Just on a Duke shirt? I don't want you. Silly.
That's uncalled for. How about the College of Charleston beating up on North Carolina?
I love that. By the way, we went to see the College of Charleston when we were looking at schools, and it's a great school. But there are 4 women to every guy at that school. Did you know that, Fritz?
There were 15 to 1 when I was there in the early 90s.
Then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's bigger than that, 7 to 1. And Madison, they don't know why that is. Even the administrators, 7 to 1. But even my son mentioned this.
I wouldn't want to be a girl there.
None of the women looked happy.
Because there's not men. Because there's not enough men.
It is a great place, but we didn't see any really happy women. It was like...
Because they're surrounded by catty bitches.
There's got to... By the way, is there a lot of lesbianism at College of Charleston? Do they talk... Fritz, do they talk about a lot of lesbians there?
No, sir. Have you ever heard of the Citadel?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was basically an all-male school and still probably is pretty much 90%.
Oh, I thought that was that machine that vibrates.
Yeah.
Those College of Charleston girls have those cadets at their disposal. And those cadets are locked up all week long. And you don't think that they get out and have a good time on the weekends?
So they let the cadets in the Citadel out to service the women at College of Charleston.
They stormed the VJJ.
It's been going on for about 100 years.
I love that. I love the servicing.
Tradition. It's a
girls.
Southern tradition.
Fritz, thank you very much from Charleston, South Carolina.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Let's go to Mike in Philadelphia. Mike, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, my friend went to boot camp in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking to Trev about suicides.
Yes, I was. Mm-hmm.
One boot drank some whiskey, but I think that just hospitalized him. But another got a hold of thread or string.
No, wait a minute. Were you in this boot camp yourself?
No, it was my best friend was at Paris Island.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have Kevin that's working with us this morning. Kevin, weren't you at Paris Island also? Kevin?
Yes, I was, Jay.
Why would you join the Marines, given the fact that we've seen the movies and they call you maggot, they push your face into the sand and all that? What would make you join, Kevin?
I think a bad GPA in high school.
Oh yeah, you were forced to join like that. So, Mike, your friend, did he see suicides in boot camp?
Well, yeah. The one guy was successful with he bunched up some thread or string and hung himself overnight.
Wow.
And they march everyone in, and the DI says, "Look at this piece of shit."
Kevin, did anyone string themselves up, literally string themselves up, and then the DI would march you in and point and say, "Look at this piece of shit"?
I need to give myself stitches. Can you give me 3 foot of thread?
Did you see anything like this, Kevin?
No, I didn't see anybody string themselves up. But like you said about the whisk, we had a hazmat locker where all the cleaning supplies went, and there were about 2 or 3 guys in my platoon alone that 2 of them threatened. One actually went through with it and tried to drink some sort of cleaning product. I think it was Mop and Glow or something along those lines.
To kill themselves.
Right. And one of the main things, whenever you go to the rifle range, you carry your M16 all through boot camp, but you spend about 2 weeks on the rifle range, and there's a lot of procedures to make sure no recruits try to bring back a bullet to the squad bay with us because we keep our M16s locked there. So if you have any live ammunition, there's a way, of getting around off at one of the drill instructors. So I know a kid who actually got processed out just for threatening that. He said he was going to take all these rounds from the rifle range, come back, kill the drill instructors, kill himself.
Wow.
And they put this guy in the loony bin. And
I would put him in the front lines, Kevin.
Yeah, right.
Front lines.
I'd put him at the other end of the shooting range.
I also think they ought to go into the prisons and get all of these. I mean, you talk about the shows that are scary, those prison shows with the nuts and the solitary and all that.
Lock up raw.
All that stuff. There's nothing we can do with these people. They are vicious. They're animals.
Put them in the war?
Yes. Get them all, chain them up,
put them in a
plane. No, get them in a plane
Send them to
and
Iraq?
maybe train them like the Dirty Dozen. I've been wanting to write this movie for a while called Red, White, and Blue Gang, where they get them all, the Crips and the Bloods and all that, and they drop them right in the middle of Fallujah or Afghanistan or whatever, and just give them guns and let them go. That's what I would do. Absolutely. But Micah Philly, thank you very much.
Also about logging.
Yes. Well, you have a boot camp suicide and now a logging.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm a jack of all trades.
There's some good videos on YouTube with automatic logging equipment. There's a crane that just grabs the tree and strips the bark and branches and
that thing is badass.
Mike, you ever jerk off to that? Do you ever watch that when you're pulling yourself?
I'm afraid to stick anything near it.
You're afraid to watch that. All right. Thank you. And finally, before we go anywhere, by the way, we got the guy in that tells you how to get laid on the internet. John, you're in New Orleans. I'm not down there this weekend, but I'm going to be not this weekend, but next, I think. What the hell's going on down there? What's it like for the Saints this weekend, John?
Oh, it's getting real exciting, but I was just about to think, if you want to write that movie, just drop all those people off in the Ninth Ward and let them just take each other out,
You want to
Red,
drop
White,
them
Blue
off in the
gang?
Ninth Ward? You know what I'm thinking? I mean this. The Ninth Ward is where there's killing and everything in Louisiana. Right. Same thing like in Detroit or South Central, whatever. And this is the truth. We are fighting the wrong place. We can't control the border. We can't control Detroit. We can't control the Ninth Ward. They can't control South Central. They can't control Washington, D.C. Why they don't bring the troops back from Afghanistan and Iraq and take over these horrifying neighborhoods in the United States, and I mean this, I really don't know. I have the faintest idea. We need some more troops in New Orleans, don't we, John?
Oh, you said it the first time. We needed another hurricane to come through and clean it out.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not nice.
We need another hurricane to clean
That's
it out.
Jay's quote.
No, I know.
That's right. It's my quote. Larry King really got angry at me after Hurricane Katrina.
He looked visibly upset the other night. They went to commercial and they were talking about this earthquake
in Haiti.
He had his head in his hands and he was very emotional. I thought it was.
Know what should be, Jay?
What?
There should be a telethon.
Yes,
there probably will be
for Haiti.
26-hour telethon.
Why 26 hours?
The Jerry Lewis.
Hey, by the way, everybody's worried about Haiti. Meanwhile, on the same island, 15 feet away from Haiti, is a country. It's
Dominican Republic.
And guess what they've said? You try and get from Haiti to where we are, and we will shoot you.
Why would they say that?
Because that's their deal. We don't want any stinky Haitians over here.
That's terrible.
And that isn't terrible. They're correct.
I'm not going there.
Nobody died in the Dominican Republic. Okay.
I spent 25 years in South Florida also, but I was born and raised in New Orleans, and I'm back in New Orleans. You are correct.
Thank you, sir. The Jay Thomas Show, where I'm going to start calling this show, you ready? The Truth. When I read a commercial like that, people go, what sort of style is that? It's called misplaced emphasis.
I didn't know it had a name.
Where I place the emphasis on the wrong words. And it makes you really listen. Shuli and Madison are here. Shuli will be in Falls Church, Virginia on Saturday night. Where are you performing, Shuli?
State Theater in Falls Church, Virginia. Go to JewGoneWild.com, or you can go on Twitter at Shalom Shuli.
Go up to him and kiss him, even if you're a man. Jews love to kiss each other, male Jews.
Oh my God,
and now, here's Shuli.
There's Ira the weatherman.
Why don't you
Could
bring Ira with you?
What?
I would love
bring.
to.
I would love to bring Ira. Ira, do you travel?
Yes, I do, Jake.
What's the last place you went to?
Yonkers.
Yonkers and
About 4 miles away.
New Rochelle.
That's 18 miles
Ira,
away.
why don't you go somewhere warm?
Well, I'm in a warm place. I
Really?
live in Co-op
Mentally.
City.
Co-op City. You have a heater in your apartment? Is that?
I have steam heat.
You have steam heat.
apartment. Yeah.
You have steam heat. So, no,
that's
what we're
nice.
saying,
That's
when we say a warm
Central
place,
air conditioning.
No, we mean like
I know.
Florida. Older people are supposed to go to Florida. It's required.
What Florida? What
All right.
Florida? Florida.
Nice and warm.
You
All right.
can meet people in New York City.
right.
You can
Why go
meet
to
people-
Puerto Rico when there's a subway?
You can
Okay.
meet people when you go
Wouldn't you
into
like to?
department
Wouldn't you like to
stores.
wear a pair of shorts, maybe, and
Shorts.
sandals?
Maybe I'll wear my shorts next week.
Oh,
Who
boy.
knows? Maybe it's going to be around.
You know, let's go
70
to our
degrees.
guest, please. Let's
It's
bring Beaver
Jay,
Phillips on.
It's
Yes.
my birthday.
I know.
Let's
You sound like you're
tear
loaded.
This place up, Hades style.
Let's tear the place
Oh,
up
that's
Hades style.
trashy.
Copy, paste, and bang.com. Beaver Phillips, welcome to the show. How are you, Beaver?
Good, Jay. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the book, and I find it interesting, and I totally agree with you in that these dating services, eHarmony and all that, whenever I watch the commercial and I see the woman, I know that she has slept with any number of guys before she caught the idiot that they're using in the commercial, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right. Now, in your book, what is it that you're trying to say? I mean, how do you get past what you look like? I mean, you can put a lot of stuff out on the internet, and I know your book tells you how to do it, but how do you get past when you meet the woman face to face if she finds you physically repugnant?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's important that when people do sign up for these internet dating websites, that they're posting recent pictures, because a lot of people want to post, you know, their 10-year-old high school picture. And if your goal is to eventually meet in person, they're going to know what you look like today.
Right.
So I've got actually one chapter. There's three main concepts that I try and preach throughout the book. The first one is self-confidence. The second is humor, and the third one is honesty. And going with the honesty deal, chapter 4 is called Lying Equals Too Much Work. And so, again, when you're posting these pictures, post some recent pictures.
But one of the website testimonials says, but Beaver, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I'm broke. You need good looks and money to get laid. What is your response to that?
No, I wouldn't agree, because, you know, there's people out there for everyone, and regardless of, you know, your age, looks, or income, I know that the principles and concepts in Copy, Paste, and Bang are going to work for anyone. It's, you know, again, there's somebody out there for everyone. And on my website, I've got a testimonial from a guy who, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think he gave himself a 1.
Oh.
But he said he read the book and he's doing great. I do have a chapter in the book called "Assess Yourself First," and I kind of reference that. You know, if you, what I instruct the reader to do, of course, when they're in private, stand up, take off all your clothes, and stand in front of a mirror.
Ouch. This is what you say in your book. Take off all of your clothes, stand in front of the mirror, and assess your own physique.
Sure. Yeah,
Yes,
I do. And,
One second, Beaver.
Jay,
Yes, Ira.
I don't copy, paste, and bang.
Mhm.
I lick, shuffle, and snore.
All right, there you go. That's another book. I'm sorry, Beaver. Now, Beaver, anybody that takes their clothes off is going to find flaws in themselves and everything else. So what you're saying is stare at yourself in the mirror and accept who you are. And then when you go on the dating service, do you look for like a mercy fuck? I mean, is that what we're looking at? Do you have that category also?
No, but in that chapter, and you know, I tell the reader, give yourself a number between 1 and 10, and if let's say you give yourself a 3, well, you want to start out targeting some other 3s, and then you know you build your confidence, and then you work your way up to.
But Beaver, don't we all really? Even though, no matter what we look at, don't we want to really be with something that looks better than we are?
True, but you know, you got to crawl before you walk, Jay. I mean,
now
you know,
Madison, this is the truth. Now Madison used to date the wrong people.
I went for looks all the time.
All the time. And now you're with a lovely, lovely man
Who's
who...
a beautiful man. I love him.
In the minus column, physically.
No!
But a
stop
lovely...
it!
Whenever Madison...
He's a very nice man, though.
Whenever Madison gets married...
Yes.
I got a nice present for her.
Thank you.
Bachelorette party.
There you go. Now, Beaver, that's the problem, is that a 3 doesn't want to be with a 3. A 3 wants to be with a 7. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but you got to start somewhere, Jay.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And I think I wrote in the book, if you're 10, you probably don't need the book.
No.
And if you're a 1, go get yourself a hooker. I don't know if I can help you. But if if you're like the rest of us, you're somewhere in between those two numbers. So you kind of start there and work your way up.
So your book is about honesty.
It is, and I'm not out there tricking women or lying to them in any way. By the time we get around to meeting in person, we both know what direction it's headed.
Now, what about when they say, like they ask you in these things, like, what do you read and all that? Do you at least give advice in copy, paste, and bang at copypasteandbang.com? Certain things you ought to say, even though forget your looks. Things that intellectually you ought to say you're doing to get women, interested in you?
Well, on the websites that I use, and there's 2, do you want me to say the names of them?
Sure.
Okay. The first one's a free one. It's called Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
And
We've had them on the show. We've had them on, yeah.
Okay. And the second site is Match.com.
Right.
But in Match.com, when you get on there, you're setting up your online profile. It does say something about, what was the last thing you read.
Right.
And I think I wrote in my profile a Gentleman's Magazine or something like that.
I put Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, yeah, I bet you got a lot of tail.
That horrible book.
I
agree
on a
with you.
scale of 1 to 10,
yes,
I am a 14.
Wow.
You're a 14. All right. Now, Beaver, what you're saying is in your book, do you give specifics? Like, let's say you just want to get laid. Don't you have to pretend on eHarmony or Match that you're going to marry these people?
No, not necessarily, because there are a lot of people, both men and women, who maybe just got out of a long-term deal, aren't necessarily looking to jump back in with both feet. So again, as I'm going through, say, a woman's profile, if she comes right out and says, I'm looking to settle down and get married, there's a good chance she's not going to get an email from me, even though it is a copy and pasted email. I'm really looking for people with similar interests.
Now, what about your height? Women notice height. You even say that in your book. So do you if you're like 5'6", do you put 5'8"? Do you just give your little self a little 2 inches, little help?
No, and I really caution the reader. Madison, maybe you can help us out with this, but women are really, seem to be real sticklers about height. Is that correct?
It depends on how tall. Like, I'm 5'9", so I was yeah, I was kind of.
You're 5'9"?
Yeah.
Wow.
She doesn't seem that tall.
You don't seem that tall.
No, I'm 5'9". So, and there was one guy I did go on a few dates with, and he was 5'6", and it was
Hey, so where do you want to
uncomfortable.
go tonight? I was thinking we
Now,
take a
when
walk
you
down
met
this
me,
road.
when you met me in person, did I seem short to you, or
No,
does
you
my
don't.
personality make me seem tall?
And by the way, my
Garrett, I don't need the laughter. That's actually
and
a
by the
real
way,
question.
the man you just put in the minus column heard you, Jay. He's crying.
No, he's a lovely
Yeah, he's
man.
not
I just
in the
wouldn't
minus
sleep with him.
Stop.
He is a lovely, lovely
beautiful
man.
to me.
No, you exactly. You hear that, Beaver? He's beautiful to her. To you and I, we would need a barf bag.
No, stop.
Physically a barf bag.
Well, first of all, Jay, he's
So
a
what
guy,
do you? How do you do that, Beaver? Once you meet somebody, even though physically they don't match up to what you thought you wanted, does your copy paste and bang book solve that for people? Like, does it say to you finally, look, you're going to meet somebody, they're not going to look like somebody out of a magazine, and you're going to love them anyway?
Well, no, I talk about that in the book, too, because with technology today, most people have cameras on their cell phones.
Right.
So, again, if you're questioning the pictures that maybe a person has posted, you could just say, hey, shoot me go in the bathroom, text me a pic or something like that. Take a picture in the mirror. So again, there's a lot of ways to
People never they often do not look like their pictures, because I mean I went on a lot of internet dates, and these guys, they would look okay in person, and then they'd be very very slight in person, very feminine, little, They'd be little.
So what do you want to do tonight? I want to go see.
It was
you know
kinda
what,
like
Beaver?
that. I went on 2 separate dates with gay men.
Beaver Phillips, Beaver.
Jay.
You're coming, 1 second, Ira. You're coming off as a great guy. But it says here that, you're a 10-year veteran of online dating, and over the years, and this is your testimonial
10
about yourself,
years.
you have refined a system which has allowed you to bang a steady stream of ass. Now, you're coming off as like some, great guy here. I mean, when
I am a great guy.
Yeah, but banging a steady stream of ass.
Beaver, you'll never get any bottom.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. You don't sound like a great guy. You sound like, you're just looking to get laid, and these poor women, you're going to tear their hearts up and their vaginas.
Do you ever want to settle down?
Yeah.
With the divorce rate, I think it's 55%.
Yes.
And then for second timers, I think it's a whopping 75%. I'm not in a huge rush to get to the altar.
Let's go to Gary of Oregon. Gary, do you have this book? Gary, do you have this book?
Yes, I do, and it never worked for me, damn it.
All right, that's Gary. Thank you. Ira, what are you trying to say? Get the hell out.
Ladies,
Idiots.
here is some advice.
What is it?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Shuli, stop it.
Stop it. Everybody just stop it. Well, listen, I know you want to make money out of this, Beaver, but so when you get the book, you're telling people how to play the game on the internet. But I say that threes don't want to be with threes. They want to be with nines, and it's just the way, it's a human nature.
Sure, but Jay, you got to start somewhere. And a lot of people...
Yeah, you keep saying that. I think a woman will bang, I think women are more forgiving of your looks than men are.
Oh, yes. We go for personality.
Yeah,
yes,
look at who I married. I mean, that sums it up right there.
Oh,
I
you're
married
cute.
a 10.
You're cute.
Cute.
So you're in love.
But
you think your wife's a 10? Everybody
I know
who's in
she's
love,
a 10. I knew she was a 10 the second I started dating her. She was
She's
out of my
very
league.
nice, Shuli.
But a guy knows when a chick is out of
Shuli,
his
you've
league.
had hot girlfriends before, Shuli, so that's got to prove something to you.
Now, wait a minute. Here is something in the book. You go off the track here for a second,
Maybe
Beaver,
you're right.
and you start giving yourself this little philosophy here about what pisses you off about women, how when you pick up a woman, you're about to, get her to your car, her girlfriends rush out and cock block you. You
Always
have
a
stuff.
fat chick, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you also, that's right. That's the truth. Why is that, Madison?
Well,
Why do
they're
you
jealous.
not want your girlfriend?
Jealousy.
Oh, okay.
It has nothing to do with if the guy isn't right for her. If I'm sitting there and nobody's talking to me and nobody's interested in me, yet
Right.
my cute little friend is going to hook up with someone, I might want to do a cock block because I'm going to have to go home alone.
Yeah, but what if you are talking to someone and because I think there might be a sense of you're worried for your friend's
Nah, I'm never
safety.
really worried for my friend's safety.
Oh, okay. Great friend you are.
No, but you know what? I have to tell you.
No one's with her for her friendship.
I agree with Madison. I think you use all of those things because the reality is you're going to go home alone, and the odds are your friend is not going to end up dead in a ditch.
Yeah.
Because everybody has been looking at the guy. I mean, if I was going to kill somebody, I wouldn't want a bunch of
I
witnesses.
set somebody up with an abuser.
Yeah, listen, I mean, how many times has it happened where a guy picks up a chick and ends up killing her? That's never
Come
happened.
on.
It doesn't happen.
You know what?
It's fine.
You had the odds on marriage, Beaver, 55 and 75. What are the odds of getting picked up by a guy in a bar and your body being found in a shallow grave?
I don't know that statistic.
God, I'd love to get that stat, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be an interesting one. Later in the book, Jake, because you brought this up regarding cock blocking and her friends, I do talk about when possible you kind of want to meet one-on-one.
Yeah.
To try and avoid those types of situations.
Well, I do think your book is of good use. Should you put that you're religious? They ask for religion. Should you just put Christian? Is that better than saying Jew or Branch Davidian or Muslim?
I don't know. I think in a case like that, just be honest. Just put what you are. And I was kind of raised.
What about if you write, I just want to screw?
Yeah, I don't know if that would fly. I'm thinking they might run.
Yeah, and
Really?
do you still use your own system, or are you with somebody, have a significant other now?
No, I still use the system. I'm on those websites every day, and
That's sad.
I like to call it book research.
Did you hear what the Madison just said?
No, that's after 10 years. Come on.
Sad.
F
She
the
called you
statistics.
sad.
What do you mean sad?
Don't you want to fall in love though?
See, why do people think that?
But
way?
you just want to. All you want to do is screw. That's all you care. You don't want to settle down, have
Wait a
children.
minute. You're making it harsher than it is, Madison. I have a lot of great friends. I like to think of it friends with benefits, but I am in no hurry to
Okay,
settle down.
no hurry, but it's like you're completely writing it off. Like you don't. All you want to do is fuck. You don't want to
Sounds
settle
like
down.
someone's a little jealous.
I'm not jealous.
Are you
'Cause-
getting mad at me because I'm not interested in settling down?
No, I'm not getting mad. I just think. I mean, I hope you're not duping these women.
No,
Of course.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Of course
I'm
he
very-
is.
Let's go to Tommy of Boston.
Jay.
Tommy, the Jay Thomas Show. We've got from Copy, Paste, and Bang, Beaver Phillips.
Jay.
Yes, Tommy. Hold on a second.
I
Ira.
want to say happy birthday to Ira.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
Yeah,
Jay,
Tommy. Yeah, hold on.
Ira?
We got to go
Yes.
to break in a moment. Go ahead, Tommy. Go
You
ahead.
have a delivery that's up there with Wood Yee.
Would
What?
Who's that?
It's Woody Allen on
No,
Howard Stern.
we
It's
know who
hilarious.
he is.
Oh.
I want to ask Beaver, where
Yes.
did he get his name?
That's obviously just a nickname. It started when I was about 3 years old, and it just kind of stuck.
Buck teeth.
Is it because you're a cunt?
Wow.
That's not very nice, Jay.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying that. This guy Tommy's saying it. I didn't say it.
Tommy.
I thought maybe you had those pussy lips.
Hey,
Jay,
Julie,
a
shalom,
great-
bitch.
Shalom,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy.
Jay.
Well, look, Beaver, this thing's turning ugly, and you got Ari
Yeah,
yelling
I
at us. and everything
know.
else.
I certainly feel bad too about what Madison's saying.
No, I
Yes,
don't.
it's
Look,
awful.
no, it's
It's
fine.
awful.
It's fine.
I
It's
hope
fine.
we didn't ruin your day.
It's fine.
That's all I hope.
It's
Okay.
just sad
Yes.
a little
A great
after 10
way.
years.
Yes.
A great way to pick up women
Yes.
is giving them the weather and a Mickey.
All right. Beaver, thank you very much. Beaver Phillips, go to
Beaver, have a good
copypasteandbang.com. It's the Jay Thomas Show. I think it'd be advisable to hit a button. Okay. By the way, go to jthomas.com. We have the Babe of the Day there, kind of naughty gals on that thing. Just trying to drive you in there. And you can also find me on Facebook, and I actually go there with my cryptic little yeses and nos and all that.
Well, you
and I
start
friend
some stuff on
everybody.
Facebook, yeah.
Everybody I friend. Hey, I was gone during the holiday. You know, we had the vacation and all that. And we usually mention and always like to run Dick Clark. And I really think that there is a time when you don't do it anymore because it's embarrassing.
Isn't he It's contractual, right?
He won't stop doing it.
Oh, it's him.
He won't stop doing it.
Try and stop me.
He won't stop doing it. But I did not hear it. I tell you what, actually New Year's Eve, I got sick. And my wife was leaving for the New Year's Eve party. And I said, God, you know, I don't feel well on the whole thing. And so I'm laying around and I thought, well, at least I get to watch Dick Clark. I fell asleep prior to the midnight thing. Yeah.
You pussy.
And so I've asked Garrett to find it. Do we have
so
Dick Clark
sad.
counting down for New Year's?
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 10, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
I got to
Happy
tell you
New
something.
Year!
I'm sorry to say this, but that's depressing.
You know what?
And
That wasn't his worst.
He started counting December 27th. That's how long it took him to get there. But I mean, there is a point in time as a broadcaster where when the thing that you do, which is talk, isn't, you know, I mean, maybe if I had a stroke, I would still be on the air going,
God forbid, Jay. God
yes, I know. Thank you. I like
You
when you
don't
say
need a
that.
stroke.
I won't.
You don't.
But I will tell
You're going
you,
to live a long, long time.
agree or disagree, Madison, it's time not to do that anymore.
Oh, I agree.
Shirley,
It's just really
agree or
sad.
Kenny Loggins is dead to me.
Kenny Loggins is dead to you.
And can I tell you one thing?
What is it, Ira?
Between Jay Leno
Yeah.
and Conan O'Brien,
Who's the best?
somebody's going to have It looks like they're going to punch out one another. Who's going to take over the elementary job?
All right. I think I hear somebody calling you in the hall. It's Steve from the Seventh Seas. Shuli, do you think it's time for Dick to slay so long with the counting? You know. There you go. All right.
Oh, sure.
It's tough, man. I mean, what are you gonna do? But you know what? The real reason why he's staying is because he doesn't like that little prick Ryan Seacrest taking his shit.
Yes, he does. I think he chose him.
You know what's sad? It's like it's hard to give up. You don't have. It's rough.
People
I understand
usually,
it, but it's depressing. It depresses the hell out of. It makes me laugh first, then it depresses you.
Well, I mean, usually people are replaced when they're fired or they're dead, and he's there to watch this whole thing happen right before his eyes. So that's gotta
Jay,
piss
you
him
would
off.
do better than them.
Thank you. Now,
you should have a TV show.
They've added Sarah Palin to Fox News, and actually we knew this deal was in the works and all. Glenn Beck, this guy's completely nuts, cries all the time and everything else, and he pulls out his diary.
He's a pussy.
Sorry, quiet down. He pulls out his diary.
Oh.
Glenn Beck is Latin
Oh my
for
God.
homo.
All right, will you
Ira,
stop
you
it,
gotta
please?
let people talk.
Stop it. So let's listen to Glenn Beck and his tribute from his own diary to Sarah Palin. Here we go.
This is while Sarah is sitting across from him.
Sarah's right across from him. Here we go.
Before we start, Sarah, I want to read to you what I wrote last night in my journal.
Oh,
This is about
journal.
you.
Here we go.
Same thing.
Tomorrow I meet Sarah Palin and family for the first time. I'm actually a little nervous, as she is one of the only people that I can see that can possibly lead us out of where we are.
Oh my God.
I don't know yet if she's strong enough, if she's well enough advised, or if she knows she can no longer trust anyone. I don't know if she can lead and not lose her soul. That is where I'd like to go for the next hour. Find out if this is the woman that could lead us and not lose her soul.
Now, this is from his diary. Did you hear his voice?
If you could see the look on, and Sarah Palin is a moron, and she's even figured out that this is douche chill moment
Well,
to the
I don't
max.
think she's a moron, but I think it's creepy to be confronted with someone who said they wrote about you.
Did you hear his voice?
Yeah, it was all soft.
But what about?
No, it's not soft. He's got that kind of.
He's doing too much work. Voice.
No, he's like he's nuts.
Where did he
this
come
guy,
from?
He was on CNN. He was a liberal.
No, he wasn't a
year
liberal.
ago.
He's a radio guy. But I think Glenn Beck, if I'm not mistaken, was the general manager of a radio station that Kid Kelly was the program director of.
Oh.
And if you go and talk to
C100.
Kid Kelly, and no, Hits One over here. But I think Glenn was a drug addict and a drunk, and he got religion. Maybe I think he might even be a Mormon. But he's a complete nut. And he's gigantic over on Fox. And I know people watch him and the whole thing. He is completely insane. And he reads this diary to, this woman from a fish camp in friggin', Alaska, for Christ's
How about
sake.
you just fucking interview people? What are you bringing your diary into this? Like, what is
don't know
wrong
if you're
with you?
strong
He wanted
enough.
to tell her that he loved her.
Oh,
when
that's so
when you look at the potential leaders of one of the greatest nations in the world, it has nothing to do with her being Republican or conservative or whatever.
I like
You-
her, but she's definitely not.
Oh,
presidential.
please!
I'm not dumb enough.
First of all, here is a woman who can't even keep her own kids from getting banged in the yard. Okay. I mean, give me a break. It's amazing to me. And then we have these insane people like Glenn Beck who are doing, I mean, look, is he not dressed like a Nazi on the cover of his new book? What is that outfit on the cover of the book? Can someone explain that to me? You've got to get the cover of his book. He's dressed in some sort of SS officer's uniform. What is that?
Well, I wrote about it in my journal.
He's completely
What
nuts.
grown
And you know
man
what I
writes
love
in a
about
journal?
it? There's still room for me. There's still tremendous room for me. Apparently there's nothing you can't do on...
Oh my God, he does look like a Nazi.
What
that's
is that?
horrible.
Completely nuts.
Wow.
Completely crazy. And then tonight... A lot of you listening to me right now are going to watch that
Dead
friggin'
dog.
idiot. You know who I must think? You know who I bet thinks he's nuts? Is O'Reilly. I bet you $10 O'Reilly thinks he's a friggin' nut.
Probably.
All right. It's been the Jay Thomas Show, and now it's over.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Happy birthday, Ira.
Happy birthday, Ira.
Thank you.
Go Saints! GEAUX.
Go Jets. JTS.
Go to...